Test. Okay, that works. That works. Da, 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 da. Let's see. Is this streaming? Oh, I'm streaming. Where am I streaming at? Something went wrong. Well, why is something going wrong? Can anybody hear me? Hello, I see Sophie Games. Sophie Games, you do the line battle game, right? Yeah, you do. Do you do that game in Unity? Where do you make it that game? Hey, Marco. Okay, Steam screenshot dump. Here it is. All right, and then I'll make a little post. Cool. All right, so we got a handful of people here. Let me also do we want design volunteers or historical? Probably design volunteers. Yeah, we can have the volunteers come in if they want to. I'm trying to get the chat set up there. Good. And so what we can do is I have all these screenshots already made, so we can go through and upvote and downvote stuff. I also apparently am supposed to do a screenshot of the regimental color designer in use. Ah, gosh, is my Unity's been glitching out, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to open it. I basically have to restart the computer if I'm using Unity too long, no matter what project I'm doing. Because I don't know what my Unity settings are, but it will store things, almost like a memory leak, but it'll always happen no matter what. You know, it doesn't matter what kind of project you have, it's just going to keep storing things, and you have to restart the computer to clear out like your GPU, or it'll max it out. So I don't know why it does that, but it's a new glitch. Just fine. But yeah, we've got some screenshots here. We got plenty of them. And I want to figure out which ones get to go on Steam, on the Steam page or not. Some of these are pretty cool. Like seeing all the troops charge across. There's a couple little glitches that would need to be fixed. I would just Photoshop out. Like these two flags got left behind. So I just Photoshop those out. Because that'll be fixed for the final game, of course. So I would just want to polish a couple things up. Might be a case here and there where also like the wrong general is displayed in the top left because I forgot to set the setting right. All right, let's see if my GPU freaks out now that we have Unity opened, which I'm suspecting it's going to do. I'm suspecting that's what's going to happen. So I need to get a screenshot of regimental, a full camp and regimental color designer. Those are the next things I need to get. Let's see if it crashes. If it starts to crash, I'm going to have to just close this out and then do that part later. Let's see where we're at. 97% utilization, not good. 98%. Yeah, it's laggy. It doesn't work. That's a shame. Can't use it. Yeah, I don't know what's up with my Unity. It's been like that since Fire Maneuver, and I just can't. No one else has this problem. It's just me. The GPU gets like maxed out on Unity. You close it out and it's back to normal. And I have a 4090 and I have 32 gigabytes of VRAM. I've got or 24 actually. So I really don't know what that issue is. Anyways, I'm gonna go through my favorite screenshots. We can pick 15. I think this one's guaranteed. I like showing the Prussian unit tree, so I'm gonna put. We'll do two types of check marks. We'll have a thumb up maybe, which is just good. And then we'll do a check mark if it's guaranteed. I think that's how we'll do it. In this case, I think the Prussian upgrade tree is guaranteed. Lonely Hunter. This one's not bad. for Steam. It's like showing that you're like recruiting a marksman. That one's okay. I'll put a thumb up on it. The village screen, people like this village screen a lot. I did A/B testing with the latest devlogs thumbnail. By the way, I have asked if you guys can hear me. No one responded. I'm not just talking to myself, am I? Just to check. You guys hear me okay? We hear you. Okay, you're the Plague. You're the first guy to acknowledge me. So, thank you guys. Okay, good, good. All right, all right. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thinking I'm crazy. All right. I like this one. People like the village, and it shows that I'm like buying resources, which is also cool. And it's got a little stable and a quartermaster and a church. I think that one's good. I'm gonna guarantee that one. Okay. Again, we'll do thumbs up if we like it, and the green check mark means it's guaranteed. This one's fine. I think it's a little awkward. It's cool that we're showing officer recruitment. And that like, oh, he's got the trait Burly. Okay, that's cool. He throws grenades. And oh, grenades are in the game. And we get to show a little bit of the city on the outskirts of the screenshot. So I think that one's okay, but the framing of it is a little awkward. So I'm going to just give it a thumbs up for now. And you guys, your contribution is to just yell shit out. You know, if you say, no, this one's guaranteed, or this one's bad, or this one's good, you tell me. And yeah. But for now, we're just going to go through these, and I'm just going to quickly mark stuff, and you guys can shout stuff out. We also have at the city at the market instead. So I'm buying shoes, and you can see they give you move speed, and you can see a negotiation at the market. So maybe we only need one of these between this and this. But I don't know. Oh, is there ads on? I'll turn the ads off. It does that every single time. There. The monetization's off for the stream. There we go. Yeah, do you guys prefer the market or the officer recruitment? Market looks better. I think the market does maybe look a little better. Okay, yeah. I agree. So let's guarantee the market here. And let's get rid of the officer recruitment. If we were to show officers, I bet there's just a better way to do it. Let's get rid of this. There. So now we have like a full village. And then we have a negotiation at a city. So that shows like 2 views. I think that's good. We have the British Army selection, which is not bad. I think this is fine. It shows like the Hanoverians, subsidy troops, British expedition. I like the red, white, and blue theme at the bottom if someone were to read that. I think that one's fine. So I'll just leave a thumbs up for now. I have a few maps. I have a map. I almost have a bias towards doing everything French or British and Prussian. But I have these 2 maps of the campaign. This one shows the Prussians highlighting Greater Poland. We cannot allow the Russian Empire to resupply in Greater Poland, burn their depots to the ground. So that's kind of a cool, like, showing the objectives. There's also a Prussian flag already planted in Saxony, showing that you've conquered Dresden, and that there are other missions around. The French are in Berlin, there's Austrians out in the west, and then there's Greater Poland. Then we have this one. And this shows southern England. The struggle for southern England's becoming dire. Arrive swiftly, drive the French back. I feel like, I don't know, maybe, what do you guys prefer if we were to only pick one of these? I don't think we need 2, right? I think they're both kind of showing the same thing twice. So do you guys have a preference on which map is better? This is the Prussian one, and that one's the British one. Like, what would you, if you didn't know anything about this game, which one do you think would, like, appeal to you, I guess, more? I feel like, on one hand, it's really cool that you can fight in England. On the other hand, the Prussians invading Poland is also pretty funny. So, not funny, but you know what I mean. It's like, someone might think that's like a reference or something, I guess. It seems pretty split. I will put a poll and say which map. British map, Prussian map. And I'll let you guys choose. And I'll put them side by side. I can also Photoshop them a bit. So, like, if you like how the yellow progress bar is more full on the Prussian one, I can also give the British a bit of their progress bar. Yeah, Quartz, I can Photoshop that. That's easy enough. I can Photoshop that. I can basically just make minor edits to these screenshots to make them look a little better. If, you know, while I was taking the screen... Like, here's another thing. The Prussians have more stratagems. 1, 2, 3, 4 in the top left. Britain only has 2, but I can just Photoshop 2 more in. Because when I was taking the screenshot, I just forgot to give myself stratagems. So there's a couple things you can just, you know, edit as long as it's correct. Okay, yeah, you guys think the Prussian one's better. I think I agree with you. And it's more historical. So I think we'll go with that. We'll delete the British one. And then we're going to guarantee the map. I also have these two. You guys tell me which encounter you like better. If we were to include one encounter, or if you want me to include both. I have the Lonely Hunter, a marksman joins your camp, or a game of Pharaoh, which is the Barry Lyndon reference. This one's probably better, right? Because it also has, you can rig the game because you have saboteurs. It shows like it's a special option, which is kind of cool. I feel like, or do you guys want both for variety? We could do both for now. I'll just give each a thumbs up. Okay. Also, I'm really annoyed because we just barely did not get this done in time. Look at this big placeholder I. So I wonder what the hell I should do. Maybe I could just like cover this up because it is placeholder like that. And just fix these screenshots. The eye, if you click on it, brings you to the objective. So if this says, like, go to the caravan, you know, there's 2 caravans on this map that need you to resolve them or, like, basically go do those encounters. You can click this and it'll show you where they're at. But, yeah, I think what I would probably do is, like, do this. Or is the eye not big of a... I don't think it's that big of a deal. Because, like, if you're looking at this as a screenshot on Steam, are you really going to be, like, zooming in and looking over? Maybe that's not that bad. It's ugly, but it's, you know, I can always replace that later. These encounters are pretty easy to load, so that's fine. What's not easy is to, like, pose a bunch of troops. All right, now we're getting to the fun part, I guess, which is also really tedious, which is all of these screenshots of all these troops posed. The first batch here are all the special units. These are, like, the elites that I thought would be fun to show off. So we have the Priabensky Lifeguard. We have the Deutschmeisters. We have the French Guards and Swiss Guards. We have the Campbell Highlanders and Coldstream. And that's what these are. I think this one's pretty cool because this is a different angle and it's winter. I feel like we kind of have to guarantee this one. It's like, it's very iconic, the Russians marching in winter. It's also nice that they have lower health because it looks like they were in combat. I think that one's good. So we'll put this in a tab group, I think. I'm happy with that one. We have the Deutschmeister. I feel like the Coldstream Guards and the Campbell Highlanders are pretty iconic. That's kind of cool to show the 2 British forces next to each other. And then the French one looks really good, too. I think this French one looks great. We have the Swiss Guards and the French Guards in inverted uniform, red and blue and red. I think that's really cool. Deutschmeisters is probably pretty basic, right? I feel like we don't really need the Deutschmeisters. What do you guys think? I'll do a poll and see what your guys' favorites are. I think for me, the Russian one's guaranteed because I like the angle and it's a different season. So I'm really just going to vote on, like, do you want the British? Do you want the, like, Coldstream, French Guard, or Deutschmeisters? If we were to just do 2 of them. So you guys can just pick one more. Because Russian's guaranteed and we only get one other one, okay? Let me just check real quick, by the way, if there's any other ones I forgot to... No, that's all of them for the elites. British have red uniforms, not pink. Yeah, it's just the post-processing it makes it a little bit off. It's a little more like, yeah. That's like the color red it's using. Whereas it could probably be more like that. but I don't think it's a huge deal in this screenshot. If the red is too faded, we could just go with the French, since their uniforms are a little more realistic here. I can also do some color correction through Photoshop if we don't like the red there. I do have it written down that the blues are a little too cyan and the red's a little too pink. I think there's just a couple color correction problems that I did to get the grass looking nicer that had a couple knock-on effects to the uniforms. It's always a thing where you edit one thing to fix it and then something else breaks, and then you fix that and then a different thing breaks and so on. The PS1 Fusiliers, yeah. The thing is, we don't use like super high quality models because you're not supposed to be zooming in. Like, most of the battle is played like this. And do you need like Ultra HD models for this? If you do, do the Ultra HD models, you can load only like a quarter of the amount of soldiers here. So do you want like big battles, or do you want like regiments of 20 guys, but they are ultra detailed? That's kind of the trade-off with what we had for this. But yeah, they do look like little nutcrackers. I think it's part of the style. It's like, I don't think it's horrible. But yeah, if the game isn't about zooming in and looking at individual troops, then we shouldn't be showing too many close-ups. But you guys seem to prefer the British one. I think the French one's good. We'll get rid of the Deutschmeisters since they don't seem to be a favorite. I think this Russian column is guaranteed. I really like that. All right, and then we have some overhead shots in winter. And I think these look a little less bad. So we have this one, and again, I can fix a couple of the little glitches if there are any in these screenshots. But I'm just going to open up all the winter ones up, and we can see which ones we like. I don't like this one, because there's a hay bale that's floating. We have a lot of winter ones. There we go. That's everything I did for this battle. So this one's kind of cool because you see a river. There's a lot of names. Don Cossacks, Slobodian Cossacks, Heinrich Preußen Fusiliers, Itzenplitz Musketeers, Russian Grenadiers. I feel like it's a lot of variety we're showing in this, which is kind of cool. Yeah, that is true that no one's shooting here. I think everybody took damage, so it looks like everybody finished shooting, and they're all reloading. Here's another where you actually do see some smoke. It's a little chaotic. This one, they're like approaching the city. Again, I think this one's like, these guys are kind of clipping through the windmill though, so I probably wouldn't show this one. So I'll cut this one as an option. We have this big overhead one, and there are troops firing. You can see some smoke and flashes in the top left, which is cool. This is a pretty neat one, because this shows like a really big overhead view of a battle, which is neat. So I really don't mind that one. This one, I'm trying to show a charge. This one actually says charge with the Cossacks moving forward. And then this one, you can actually see them. I think this one's probably best because you see the word charge. You see both cavalry regiments running. You see actual gunfire on these guys. And you see in the back, these guys had just fired. And then these troops are already engaging as they're charging in. So like that one's not a bad one, I feel. The only issue we have with this one is the flags that got left behind because of a recent bug. So I just have to Photoshop that out. And it's annoying because half the time these bugs happen, I get it fixed the next day, but I already did the screenshots, and I don't want to spend an hour redoing one frame of the exact same screenshot. So it would be easy enough for me to just grab and just do that. Do you know what I mean? I can just fix that part. Anyways, they seem too neat when they're charging. Yeah, it's a little bit tough because if you make them really disorganized, I get people who criticize it and they're like, no one's staying in formation. And then I synchronize everyone and they're like, no, they shouldn't be synchronized. And I'm like, I don't really know. I think this one's chaotic enough though. There's like horses running other ways from guys who were shot. There's some horses that were left behind on the right there. I don't think this one's horrible. And then we have this one. So there's a lot to choose from, honestly. Maybe let's pick two of our favorite winter shots, if we're only picking two. Why don't you guys like rate each picture? So I'll flash a picture and you can rate it between like 1 and 5, 5 being the best and 1 being the worst. And we'll just pick our two favorites. We'll just rate stuff, okay? So we'll start with this one. I'll make a tab group. What do you guys think? 1 to 5 compared to all the winter ones you've seen. Before you go ahead and rate it, I'll give you one more preview so you can see relative, how the screenshot looks relative to the other ones that we have. So you can kind of rank it or rate it based on the other options, I'd say. These are all the other options, okay? So how would you rate this one here? You like the angle, 4 or 5? Okay. So we'll put this, in fact, I think they're going to be in order. Are they in order? Let me see. It doesn't matter. I will just do the tab group. Where is the tab groups? Open to new group? Yeah, there we go. So we'll give this one a green. Most people are saying like a 4 or 5. Honestly, 5 would be like blue or like cyan. That seems to be pretty special. How's this one, 1 to 5? This one's kind of the same one, but it's from a top-down angle instead. So which of those would you prefer? What are you guys thinking on this one here? 4, 5, a 3, a 3. So it seems like you guys, and a 4. It seems like you guys prefer this one to that one. So I can probably delete this one if they're the same screenshot. Yeah, I'll get rid of this one because you guys are seeming to be more on the average side for this. That one's gone. Okay. Now let's go to this one. I can already tell you, I feel like, well, you know what? There's gunfire. It is cool that there's gunfire in this one. Which one's better between... Well, let's not directly compare them. We're probably going to narrow this down to 2 screenshots. I'll add a little divider in the chat. What do you guys think of this one? 1 through 5. So this one shows a little more combat in a village. I think there's a little bit of glitchiness. If you were to pick at some of the assets, some of them look a little distorted by this angle. But again, it's like... It's hard to tell. You can never get it perfect. If you examine any of the screenshots, there's always going to be a little bit of glitchiness. But yeah, it's just like what if you were browsing through a Steam page, what would catch your eye? I feel like this catches my eye more than this one. Seems a little overcrowded. 4s. Yeah. Then we have this. This one's kind of cool because it really shows an overhead. I feel like these two actually go really well together. Yeah, 4s and 2s. I'll cut this one. I'll cut it. I'm not a big fan of it. Going to this one next, I'm going to add a divider. I wish more troops were firing. Look how cool that smoke looks in the top left. I wish that was like erupting everywhere. Unfortunately, there's not really a way, unless like just to see. Is there any way like I could just have more guys firing? Like that would have been perfect, you know what I mean? Can we do... a lighten effect, and then I feel like I can get this to work. Just adding a little. The thing is, like, I'm not faking anything. This is how the battle works, but I just took the screenshot when half my dudes were reloading. So it was just kind of horrible timing. So hopefully this could make it look just a little bit better. That people are actually fighting each other, not just staring each other down. Which is kind of a problem we had in Fire Maneuver. So it was turn-based, so you didn't really get cool. This is all real over here, yeah. Okay, this adds just a little bit more smoke. That's good, right? That just adds a little bit more going on. It's still not perfect, but I could put another bunch of smoke. It's hard to see it on the white, though. It's on the snow. So it's actually quite tough to see. There we go. I'll repost this one because I changed it. The thing is, everything I just did is kind of in vain because it is a bit of an awkward angle. I didn't even ask you guys what you thought of this to begin with. Just because I put effort in, don't vote for it highly. Like, only vote for it highly if you actually liked it. Do you like this angle, or is it too unflattering? What would you honestly vote for? Most people are saying 4, but don't just vote like that just because I put in the effort to add smoke. If you really like it, you can vote 4, obviously, but I don't know if I saw this is pretty cool because you see the river and lots of troops formed up. If I saw this is kind of cool because it does show an overhead view, but I don't know if it looks great. We also have some cavalry charges. If we go through this slowly, I feel like we'll never get this done, so I may need to make a few executive decisions. Let me have you guys compare. What do you prefer, this bigger overhead view or this same overhead, but it's a little smaller? And in this one, I think maybe it's more dynamic because this one has, like, you can see gunfire on the right and cavalry. You see these units retreating with a white flag, running away. You see cannonball skids through this formation here. You see dead troops retreating and gunfire there. You see a couple blasts of smoke around. You see these guys have taken casualties. I feel like this one maybe more shows, there's even a couple skid marks from artillery in the back. So I don't know if you prefer which one seems cooler to you. I feel like the farms look a little less awkward here. This one, they almost seem too traceable, like almost looks too perfect. Whereas this one, they're just like kind of going in the background. You don't really see what's going on. I'm a bigger fan of this one. Like, I would honestly say these two are good. And then if we want one of a cavalry charge, if you want a cavalry charge one, which of these 3 shows the best charge? Let's ask that one next. So we have this one, we'll call number 3. This one we'll call number 2. This one we'll call number 1. So which of these cavalry charges? I feel like this one is maybe a little awkward. This one's cool. This one has more motion. I feel like if you compare... Yeah, this one's way cooler than this because the cavalry hasn't even pushed up yet. Right? I feel like they should be up close. Then there are troops firing here. So I'd probably eliminate this one. And then it's really just between these two. But I feel like this one is more epic, yeah. So I think this is a winner for now, right? I think this one's also a winner for now of the winter ones. And I think, yeah, you guys are all right. I'm with you. I think you guys are correct on that. And I think this one's also a winner. So those are our 3 that we've selected for now of the winter. And then we'll probably narrow it down to 2. We'll probably have to eliminate one of those. But we'll go back and do that later, okay? For now, all 3 of these get a thumb up. Did I post 4? Yeah, we'll get rid of this one. There. Good, and we'll keep it going. So winter's taken care of, so I'll delete all the winter ones now. Besides that one, the lifeguards that we like. Did we ever look through the other winter ones? I think we did look at, like, this one. But did we like it? I don't know. Yeah, did you guys ever like this one? Compared to... Which one do you prefer between... Sorry, hold on. I'd say between these two. Which do you prefer? We'll call this one number 2 or number 1. We've got 3 people for 2, 1 person for 1. Another for 2. Seems like 2 is like our winner here. Okay. Okay, just checking. Let's get rid of that other one then. Two just feels more active. Okay, I'm with you guys. I agree. Cleared all those out. All right, now it's time for my rainy battle that I was doing. I didn't actually have rain, but I was using the rain post-processing, which meant it's very desaturated. So the beginning part here, it's the British versus the French, and I was trying to get like an infantry charge with the French charging into a Jaeger force. So I have this one, that one where they're really closing in, this one where it's like top down, you see them coming in, this one where they're getting super close, and then this one where they actually get into melee, and then this one's like super zoomed out. But I have a lot more super zoomed out ones, so I should maybe not have you guys vote on that one yet. Let's close out the zoomed out one and just vote between like these vignettes, kind of. I wish I could number them. Is there a way I could... You could just... This is tab 1, tab 2, tab 3, tab 4, tab 5. And I'll keep reading out the number and tab. I'll do that 3 times to give you guys a good montage. And then you yell out like your favorite. And I'll see which numbers are most common that people are favorites. Number 1, number 2, number 3, yeah, tab 4, tab 5. One more time. Tab 1, tab 2, tab 3, tab 4, and tab 5. I'm seeing some 4s and some 3s, 4 5s. Tab 1, tab 2, tab 3, tab 4, tab 5. I'm seeing a lot of 3 and 4. I feel like 3 and 4 probably are the ones we prefer. Some people for tab 1 post a vote. Yeah, it's really tough. Now everybody's kind of everywhere. Thing is, the worst thing is, guys, I have so many more screenshots, and we need to like, none of these may even make it in. So I'm really seeing, if I were to judge it, I think this is a little too chaotic. It's nice to show melee, that melee is actually in the game, but it is too chaotic. I don't think a lot of people voted for this one. So I'm going to cut that one. This one's cool because they're closing right in. This one's, I do really like this top-down one, and people especially liked this one. So we're going to repost this because people liked it. I think people liked this one as well. No one really said anything about this one, and the charge text is a little weird, I think. And then this one's okay. Okay, so I'm going to repost those, and then I'm going to give them thumbs up. And then I'm going to go delete the others now. Let's get rid of that. 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Now we're going to get to the big overhead battle screenshots, of which I have only 3. So, and we should probably pick one of these. Let's narrow this down. So I have this one, I have this one, I have this one. Okay, we have tab 1 and tab 2. So the only difference between tab 1 and tab 2 is the charge text, which might look a little... I wish there was smoke. Unfortunately, there's not. But, yeah, I don't know if the charge text looks cheesy to see. So between this is tab 1 and this is tab 2. I don't know, between these, which one could we just quickly eliminate between tab 1 and tab 2? So this is tab 1. That's tab 2. Tab 2 has the charge text. Tab 1, tab 2. Which one do you want to keep? Eliminate 2. Yeah, let's vote for the one you like. Vote for the one you like. I forget if I think most people are saying to eliminate 2. I'm with you on that. Okay. So now we have, here's the thing. This one shows you an overhead view and lots of smoke from the battle. It's the only thing about this one is it's a little awkward with this right side of the battle where you have this like these guys were actually turning their line, which is kind of cool that they were like adjusting the two endpoints of their line to swing forward and hold and go back, and then engage with the musketeers down here. And then there's a column trying to advance through there, and then you have lots of musket fire, and then the hussars are running away after a charge. So this one's kind of cool, and it shows a whole village over here. So I'll keep this one for now, because now we're out of screenshots for that battle, I think. Yeah. We also have this one. Okay, between... Now I'm going to show you a few screenshots. Give me one moment. Sorry, this is a little messy. Let me just pick the ones you guys voted for. Okay, between these four, now let's do a rating system again. So you guys are going to rate 1 through 5. Let's move this into a tab group in a second, but I'm going to... here's what we're going to do. I'm going to show you all 4 screenshots. You'll see how they look relative to one another. These are the same one twice. I don't know why I did that. Is this all of them? Let me just check if I'm missing any. That seems correct. There's 2 combat ones here. But are those the 2 I had? Yeah, there's the zigzag and there's... So those are the ones I already have. Then I was... Okay, yeah, that is all 3 of them. So here's what all 3 of these look like relative to each other. There. This one actually has the UI hidden. It's just the troops. I think the weird thing with this one that is turning me off, unfortunately, is we had an issue where the dead bodies look good normally, but this one regiment, they get really dark, and also the smoke got really bright. So you get this really dark and bright value, which is a little distracting over there. It's not a huge deal. Again, I don't know if players would notice that if they were going through the Steam screenshots. But yeah, that's just something I want to say. Anyways, let's now vote. You guys saw kind of what these look like relative to each other. You can vote on scale to 1 to 5 what they are. So with this one, what would you guys... I'll add a little divider. So you can rate this from 1 to 5. And then we'll rate each of them and then see which one is left standing. Why can't we get a 3D camera movement? Because it's a 2D game. All of the assets are 2D. The trees are 2D, the buildings are 2D, the bushes are 2D. If you did a 3D camera, it would just break it. So Bean says it's a 4. In fact, okay, I'm going to be really annoying for you guys. I'm sorry to do this. I'm going to be super annoying. I feel like the best way we've been doing this is, honestly, you guys seem to prefer where I just add a number. And then you guys just start yelling out your favorite ones, you know? Okay. Let's just do it this way. So we have screenshot number 1, number 2, number 3. Number 2, number 1. Morning Sun, you only need to say it once, man. I see that you wrote it like 8 times. You only have to say it once. Number 2 shows the terrain the best. Okay, yeah, you guys are loving number 2. Okay, number 2 it is. By a long shot. Okay. Okay, number 2. I feel like most people really like that one. Okay. Let's get rid of this one. Let's keep number 2, which is this one. Let's get rid of that one. And let's get rid of this one. Okay. How do you guys feel about this screenshot? Do you like this one at all? This one just shows like an overhead, Freikorps Musketeers, the Grenadier Guards, and so on, with different color uniforms, green, pink, and blue. And you can see tons of the smoke and fire. Do you guys like this one at all? One of the developers hated it because it just felt too awkward with the camera. But I think it does show a good job of showing like firing and smoke, but it isn't saying much else. So what are your guys' opinions on this one? If you think it's the worst thing ever, just say it as well. Because we have so many screenshots. It's okay if you don't like them. Good, but it's a little crowded. Yeah, I get you. Okay, yeah, no. It doesn't seem special. Let's get rid of it then. How about this one by comparison instead? This one's kind of cool. I actually do quite like this one. You can see Hungarians like approaching I love how you can see the uniforms here. Look how bright those uniforms are. The blue, the green, the pink, and the grenadiers in the back. That is a pretty cool screenshot, in my opinion. I do like this one. That's just me, though. I don't know if you guys think this one looks basic, too. The mini-map is horrible in the top right. I need to go fix that somehow. Yeah, I'm a fan of this. I'm going to keep it for now. I do really like that one. We also have this as an option. Let me know what you prefer between this one and this one. What do you guys prefer? Morning Sun, there's a little artillery on the right on that one here. Prussian Field Artillery and the Death's Head Hussars, you can see. Do you guys prefer... we'll call this... Here, I'll label the numbers for you guys because I feel like that's easier. That's 2. That's 1. What do you guys prefer? This is 1. That's 2. This is 1. That's 2. This is 1. That's 2. 1, 2. Cool beans. You only need to write once. You don't have to... It's cool, but the enemy formation's kind of dumb. A lot of people are saying 1. Damn, I honestly really preferred 2, personally. Because I feel like we're, like, on the ground with the troops. You can see the skirmishers in front. We see the uniforms. I feel like with 1... I don't know. 1 is cool that you can see cavalry combined with artillery, combined with infantry, combined with a full formation firing at once. There's something cool about that. So I do like that. I'm kind of split between them, to be honest. I feel bad eliminating the other one. Like, when I look at these, this one just feels more cinematic. I don't know. This is really dumb, by the way. Just for fun. Nah, I'm not doing a coin flip. I think I'll just keep both of them for now, and we'll revisit it. And if you guys are truly... If you like the other one better, ultimately, you'd be the customers for the game, right? You'd be the ones buying it, not me. So it would make way more... It'd be way better for you guys to decide stuff like this than me. I just wanted to see what it looked like with black bars, but it does not look very good. Yeah, it's dumb. Okay, anyways, that was just me fucking around. Let's keep both for now. We'll keep both of these for now. You guys clearly like the other one as well. And then we get to campaign stuff. We're almost done. We're almost done now. I forgot to say, I was showing Nicole the screenshots. She said, look at this one. What the fuck is the pixels? And I was looking at what do you mean? She said about the trees. Or maybe it was this one. Yeah, maybe the pixels of the trees are a little too much. Well, I'll give her a skull and move on. We now have campaign screenshots. We only need probably... I wouldn't mind having 2 of these, honestly. So I'll give you guys some options. We're going to have 4 options, and we probably only need 2. Oh, wrong one. There we go. Okay. We need 1 winter and 1 summer. So between these 2... Do you like the Prussian one better with Frederick? Or do you like this French one better? I'm not saying do you like the French or the Prussians better. I'm just saying which screenshot do you prefer. This one doesn't have an enemy. This one's kind of cool that you see an enemy in the mountains. The French and the British in the mountains. This one's got a Prussian grenadier heading to a city. I think the French one's better, right? Yeah. The French one has the 2 armies. I agree. Okay, let's keep the French one. Get rid of this one. And then with the Russian one, now we want a winter shot. I always show the Russians in the winter. Do you like the zoomed in shot where it's a Russian army and you see like a little enemy base? Or do you like the zoomed out where you see the Russian army and then you can see another enemy in the fog to the right? So do you like the zoomed out or zoomed in? Zoomed out, zoomed in. Zoomed out, zoomed in. Oh man, it's like 50-50. Zoomed out gives more variety between summer and winter. Yeah. I'll put them side by side. If you were browsing a Steam page, zoom down on Steam, you won't even see it. Yeah, that's true. Because if you're on Steam, it's going to look... This is Battle Brothers, where we had a lot of inspiration from. Damn, that's tough. Yeah, the zoomed out, I feel like it's hard to see what it's showing. It's not a very good screenshot. If all this fog was cleared... You know what, honestly, here's what I'll do, guys. Here's what I'll do. I know what you're trying to say, so here's what we're going to do. Retake this screenshot with no fog of war. Okay, that's what we have to do. All that fog, if it was cleared, would make the picture look brighter, and if the picture's brighter, it's going to look better. So I can just turn off the fog for that particular screenshot. I could even hide some of the UI so this one looks more cinematic. What do you guys think? Or am I wrong? I could be wrong about that. It's going to look terrible. Zoomed in, zoomed in. Yeah, let me just see what you guys prefer. Still prefer zoomed in, yeah. I'll let you guys just vote. You can just vote on it. There's a poll up in the chat that you can now vote on. Damn, I used to have to go to a website called Straw Poll, and I would have to do straw polls in the streams for people to vote on things, I remember. What are you guys preferring? Seems pretty split. Seems like most people actually prefer the zoomed out. Okay, we'll go with the zoomed out one. What I'll do is... Yeah, I will go back up to it. We'll vote for this one. And I'll put an X on this, so it's not gone, but that we're probably not going to use it. We also liked this one, I think. I don't think we need to show the city, because we already do this with the village, right? So we probably don't need to show... Where do I show the city already? Here. Why do I have two of the same screenshots? Is this the same one twice? Oh no, I just ended up taking the same one twice. Do you guys like the... I guess the difference is that I'm at the market at a village instead. Here, I'll let you guys vote on something. Do you guys prefer the village market and then the city overview? Or do you guys prefer the city market like that and the village overview like this? So that's option 1, and that's option 2. It would be both of these screens. I'm talking about which set of both. They come together in a pair, basically. The option 2 is use both of these, and option 1 is to use both of these. Both are going to make it to the Steam page, I'm basically saying. So like on Steam, you would scroll past this and then go to a city, or you'd see this and then scroll to the market like that. City market and village overview for me. Option 2. Yeah, I think option 2 probably looks better. I think that this village does really stand out. I think the paths really help stand out. So I'm with you on this, honestly. Okay. Yeah. That's where that's where I lean on personally. So I'm going to get rid of the other two. Village has more contrast. Yeah, I agree. I think it looks nicer. All right, and then the unit trees. What did I say about the unit trees I had to redo? Actually, I didn't have to redo anything. Okay. Where's the Prussian unit tree? What the hell? Oh, there it is. Okay, if you had to vote on unit trees that were going to be shown, let's say we're only going to show 2. The Prussian one I feel like is guaranteed, right? Because people are probably buying the game for Prussia. There. We have 3 options. We have the French one, British, and Prussian. And 2 of them get to be used on the Steam page. We get to keep 2 of them. We have to discard 1. Prussian, British, French. I guess tell me which one to discard. Which one do you think we should just throw away? You guys want to keep the British and Prussian? Yeah. I feel like we're always doing British and Prussian. I mean, they are the 2 most popular. Discard the French. Yeah, yeah. Okay, fair enough. That's what my developer was saying too, that the background was too bright as well for France. It just didn't look as good. Okay, so we'll get rid of the French one. That one's pretty much guaranteed. Then we have the faction. Now, I already got rid of a few of the soldiers. I think I got rid of the Russian and the Prussian because they just looked a little boring. Whereas the Austrian has a beer, the British has a grenade, and the French has a pike. So I thought they looked more interesting. So if we were to have one of the faction selection screens, do you want to keep the French, the British, or the Habsburgs if we were to keep one? Or we could have 2. We could use 2, honestly. 2 isn't bad. I feel like we are not using Austria often, so I think we have to keep the Austrians. I think we got to keep the Austrians because we just have been kicking them out a lot. I feel like maybe with the French, we've been kicking them out too a lot. And then there's the British. Use 2 for variety. Yeah, we're going to keep 2. Tell me which 2 you guys like, or should we say which to eliminate? What do you guys... Maybe to eliminate. Yeah, tell me one of them to eliminate. That's what I want you to do. People are saying to use France and Austria. I think I'm with you on that. Which one, if you had to eliminate one, which one would you pick? Austrian and French is good. Eliminate the British. Yeah. Yeah, okay, I think we know. Eliminate the British one. Yeah, we've not been showing the Austrians and the French very often, so I feel like it's good to give them some of the spotlight. Yeah. Yeah, Austria is getting neglected heavily, so I'm gonna keep this one because it shows like the army selection, and it's not a beautiful looking screenshot, but it just shows something as part of the game. So I think that one's pretty much good to go. And then I have a flag designer. Do you guys think this one's okay? This one shows that you can like design your own flag. This one's fine, right? I don't know what else I would show here. I guess what I'm missing is I probably could have filled out the camp a bit. Like I could have bought 2 more divisions so you'd have them in the background. We could probably pick a cooler looking flag than the red and blue. But red and blue does stand out. Use a different flag. Yeah, we could even go on and customize a flag together. It's just my computer. I'm gonna have to restart my computer. So here's what we're gonna do. Don't leave me. There's 37 people here. I'm going to restart my computer. You're all going to leave me. I'm going to be back, and I'm going to restart this stream. It will probably take, if you set a timer, it'll take 5 minutes. So I have to restart my computer to get Unity to work because I'm having some computer problems. So I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Just please stand by. Be right back. I'll start a new stream. I'm gonna have to restart my computer. So here's what we're gonna do. Don't leave me. There's 37 people here. I'm gonna restart my computer. You're gonna leave me. I'm gonna be back. I'm gonna restart the stream. It will probably take if you set it, it'll take 5 minutes. So I have to restart my computer to get Unity to work because I'm having some computer problems. So I'll be right back. Oh, was I muted the whole time? Was I really muted the whole time? Okay, yeah, thank you guys for telling me. I've been talking this whole damn time. I was saying, how cool is it that I reset the computer and 2 seconds later the stream, I just came right back and the stream didn't go down. That's really cool. Also, my voice was fast because I was listening to a Speed 2 version of the stream to test if it was working. So yeah, I'm here. Yep. Okay, I was going to say we have 28 screenshots, and we need to get it down to about 20. So we have to eliminate 8 of these, but I'm about to take 2 more to show off the regimental designer. Because I think you guys are going to like that, and we should probably have some screenshots of me designing units. Okay, hopefully there's nothing bad in private discussion besides this. Yep. All right, we're loading the game, and we shall take some screenshots. I put Griffin M. Johnson with my middle name, which is Montgomery, because there is another Griffin Johnson, and he's a popular TikToker. So I just did that because people have emailed me thinking I'm the other guy, and yeah. I think, okay, let's say we do 3 screenshots of the camp for the Steam page. We're going to do 3 screenshots. One could be like a big camp overview, one could be designing a uniform, and one could be designing a flag. So that's 3 screenshots we get to choose. Which uniform slash flag slash customization do you guys think would look the coolest on the page? Who do we show off if we pick 3 of them? We basically only, I don't have room to show 5 customizations off. I think that's going to be too much. So if we were to cut 2 of these down, who gets picked and who doesn't? Are you guys saying to eliminate Austria or keep Austria? What are you guys all saying? Eliminate it or keep it? I feel like they're a little less interesting to customize. But their uniforms can be cool with like Hungarians and stuff. I feel like we got to keep the Prussians because people fucking love Prussia. You say keep Austria. And then if we were to customize and show off the flags and uniforms of one more, which would it be between these 3? What would you rather see like a full army of spread out? Because we'll probably show, I don't know. One should get a full army. One should get a, I feel like the uniform color I'm going to go Prussian with, because you can actually change the Freikorps and it changes the whole uniform. So these guys were going to show a uniform customization. That's what we're going to do with the Prussians. Showing a full army, who would look cool seeing a huge army laid out? And then who is the coolest flag? I feel like flags, the French probably have the coolest flags. So I feel like that's got to be one of them. And then the last one is just a big army laid out with, you know, if it was Russian, it could be like Cossacks, infantry, artillery. If it was British, it would be the Hessians, Hanoverians, and English. If it was Austrian, you would see Hungarians, Croatians, and Austrians. So who gets like the big army showcase? Habsburg, Austria. I'm seeing a lot for Austria. And I assume you guys are saying that because we've kind of neglected Austria, which I think is fair. Because we show the British here. We should definitely have a lot for the Russians. I think the Russians get shown off. The British and the Prussians get picked a lot. And you see lots of British close-ups already. And plus, we're going to show the British unit tree. And we really have nothing for Austria, do we? So it probably makes sense. Yeah, we'll do Austria. We'll do these three. We'll just say big army. Okay, so let's go in with Prussia first to show off flags. And what I'm going to do is I will honestly fill up the camp because I think it's going to look better. Let's do that. Oh, not this. We want to be able to show off probably one more on the side. I think what I'll do is I'll buy this. There we go. That'll look nice. And then we'll customize it like this. Yeah. Here, check this out. He's going to look good as a Freikorps Grenadier. Like that. This is a cool kind of screenshot. The only other thing I would do is add regiment. And then we'll do like 1, 2 of these guys. And maybe 2 of these guys. And we'll put them in the kind of reserve area. And then add officer. I don't have a thing to add an officer, so that's fine. Do you guys think I should buy this last division here or leave that so it looks like... I'm kind of thinking like this, or oh, that's cool. He looks pretty cool customized as well. This guy's my favorite though, because look, you can see the grenadier hat and the jacket change. I think I'll leave it like this, right? So you can see there's a little upgrade as part of the camp. I think that's neat. And then we'll show, what color do you want the grenadier for the screenshot? What looks nicest? Because look, the vest and the hat changes. Or do you want me to customize a different unit? But I like him though, right? Because the grenadier cap looks pretty sick. We could show customizing the uniform of a hussar, because you can actually change the jacket color. So do you prefer the hussar or the grenadier to be recolored? Hussar or grenadier? The hussar is this guy, and the grenadier is this guy. Which would you prefer for the Steam page? A lot of people saying grenadier. So we'll do the grenadier. And then what color do you guys think? Shout out a color that would look nice on this uniform that we can show. Red is pretty bright. Pink is good. Orange is not bad. Yellow is pretty bright. Black is a little boring. White's not bad. Blue looks nice. Dark blue looks a little too like it matches the jacket, I feel. Green looks cool. The bright red's pretty nice. Any other colors you guys are feeling? Light blue is pretty cool. Seems like it's between light blue and red. So I'll let you guys vote. Yeah, red or blue. You guys can vote in the chat here. That seems pretty overwhelming for red. Okay, red it is. And I'll change the flag to be red. I'll give you the light blue right there. So if somebody were to look... Here, that's nice. If somebody were to look in the bottom left, they would see the blue. So you guys have the blue still there. But now you can see here, this is selected, and that's on the uniform. And then what we'll do is we're going to grab the mouse. Because when I take screenshots, you don't get the mouse. So we're going to grab the mouse and put it here. So it looks like I'm hovering and clicking on that. We could even light this up so that it feels a bit more like it's being selected, but I don't know if this is going to look bad. Just to draw people's eyes. Fuck. Sorry. This is stupid. There. Nah, I don't like that. I think that's fine, how it was. Unless I do this, but make it white. Maybe a white highlight. There, that's good. That just makes it stand out a little bit more. The only other thing I messed up on this is I do want to put some stuff... There, this makes the items look... This makes the inventory look a lot nicer. And then I can give him a few things. Like that. I just don't like that looks nice. Let's move these to the side. There. This looks like a cool screenshot, right? Now we've got the inventory filled up. So we'll do that. There we go. Good. Okay, so that's the uniform. And then you guys want to see who's next for the flag. We said it was going to be a French flag. I think that would be cool. And the French, we're going to show the whole camp loaded out. So watch this. We're going to go bang, bang. Uh-oh, I may have glitched it. Hopefully not. If you go too fast, like I did, it fucks up the animation a bit. Okay, flags are coming down. Good. And then this one. See how the 3rd division is missing the flagpoles? I did rapid clicking and it just broke it. Okay, there we go. Nice. Then what we'll do is we'll move these guys over. We'll add some elite regiments in as well. So let's add in... Want these guys... I'll bring in all their elites, literally. These are all the elite units. You ready? Watch this. There we go. Royal Scots, Royal DuPont, Grenadiers of France, Diesbach, Swiss Guards, Musketeers of the Guard, and the French Guards. And then what we can do is we're going to show a flag designer like this, because the French flags look awesome. Look how cool this looks. I mean, look, this is so sick. Look at that. You know what I mean? We could make something really nice. Okay. And then this way on the left and the right, you guys see the left and the right, you can see those two divisions in the screenshot. What we'll do is we'll hide the crappy looking units. And we're going to put in some of the really cool units on the sides. So he'll be put on the side, he'll be put on the side, that guy too. That guy can go there. There. And then these dudes can go in the corner. And then the officers go on the sides. And now, even though the camp is empty, look, it looks full. See? The only thing that's unfortunate is it'd be nice to have an officer like up there, but because we have a bunch of empty portraits, but that's fine. So I think this is the way we want to do it. We're going to add all items again. There we go. We're going to equip this dude with all of those things that we can. Okay. We're going to call him, instead of Royal Recruits, maybe it would be cool to call him like the Irish Fusilier, or maybe Swiss Fusilier. I think that's fun because that's unique. You don't really see the Swiss too often. We'll give everybody some experience. Also, the Swiss flags look awesome. Swiss flags are probably the coolest. We'll move him down to a Swiss Fusilier. We'll give him blue. Maybe something bright. I think the light blue looks nice, or even purple. We'll see. And then we'll customize the flag. This is how the screenshot will look. Oh, besides the inventory, which doesn't look quite as good. There's a lot of missing assets right now. I can do this, but there's a lot of animals. Maybe like that would be cool. There. That's cool. And then let's grab this, and now we can customize a flag. This will be the framing for the next screenshot here. So what kind of flag do you guys want to do if we're doing Swiss? We could even do Irish. He has a red uniform, so we can make him Irish if we wanted to. I just have to rename him. Do you guys want him Swiss, Irish, or French? And then we can pick a color pattern and a flag emblem and a pattern and make it. All right, if he's Swiss, they typically get a blank pattern or blank emblem, but we can add one. And the pattern is the main thing, so they get like one of these. The Swiss uses these two flags. These are Swiss style. Which flags should we go like red, white, and blue like that? That looks kind of cool. Or do you want a different color? I think this is my favorite pattern for the Swiss. What color scheme do you want for them? Because we can choose two colors. Do you want purple, red and blue, double red, yellow, green? Green red's pretty cool. White and black is kind of neat. That one's kind of cool. Black and red is pretty sick. Blue and white we could do. There's a lot of options, honestly. There's a lot of combinations. What'd you guys see that looked cool to you? Someone said blue and white, green, red and white. Blue, white, and red looks very French to me, which is good because he is French. Green and red, red, white, and blue, black and red. I feel like this is probably the most iconic if he's French. Well, he's French-Swiss. I feel like this is the most iconic, and then we can put an emblem over it. What kind of emblem are you guys thinking? That one's pretty nice. That one's really nice. I like how it's French right in the middle. The corners are really cool. That one's a nice one. This one's for Grenadiers. I probably wouldn't use that. Looks British? I don't think this looks British at all. Especially if we put a French emblem in the middle. I like the red, white, and blue, honestly. Third row all the way to the right. Oh, you want the American Eagle? The fictional one? These are all fake, like, generic ones. These are not historical. The red, white, and blue reminds me of the Union Jack. Oh, I guess because of the cross, and I kind of get what you mean. We could go, like that. Is that a bit better? Second row, fourth. This one's pretty nice. I feel like if I were to design this, I would personally go either like this, or that. This one's technically Swiss, actually, so we can go with this if you guys like that decoration. This one's a cavalry flag, so I would not use the Sun King cavalry flag. I'd either go like that one or this one. These are my two picks. What do you guys feel? The French emblem or the writing? That one's kind of cool, actually. The light blue and the red is kind of neat. That one's kind of cool as well. Yeah, do you guys like the center fleur-de-lis cross? Like that one? It is hard for you guys to tell me like what is preferred because there's just so many options and they're not really labeled. You like the center emblem. Yeah, we can do this one. I think that one looks nice. And then for colors, is there anything else you guys want to go with or consider? I think this one's pretty nice. And then we can give him the uniform color to match there. Let's give him a nicer musket. Let's give him like a light. Oh, that's cool. It's golden too. And then we just have to scroll down in the inventory where it looks normal. There. Okay, that screenshot's done. There we go. Golden means it's a, it is a, actually he needs a bayonet as well. 1 second. There we go. It is an artisan weapon, so it's just a slightly better, it has the same base stats configuration, but they're all boosted a little bit. So it's just a higher quality make of that weapon. There we go. So screenshot 1, screenshot 2, check that out. And then what we'll do, we don't want this one anymore, is we'll grab this. Which, by the way, should be a little smaller, and it should be white. Same here. This should be white, and it should be a little smaller. There we go. And then grab the mouse, put the mouse over it. There we are. The worst quality musket is probably the starter one, which is your rustic. But you can actually get rid of this rustic musket. If you needed the money, you could sell it, and look what's behind it. It's a training musket, so you can see I have 0 reload speed, 0 range. It's literally a stick. And so you can take the stick and put a bayonet on it and give yourself a bunch of charge damage, but you have no you have no musket. So yeah, you can't shoot basically. But yeah, the rustic musket is a basic one. It's like farmer muskets, like stuff that the civilians would be armed with. But yeah, check these 2 screenshots out. Now we have this one and this one. And they both look a little similar to each other, but one's customizing a flag and one's a regiment. And one's French and one's Prussian. And the last thing that we'll do is we're going to do the Austrian and just show a huge army with Austria. I guess my only fear with Austria is that a lot of their uniforms look the same, but maybe it won't be a big deal. Let's jump in and let's see. We'll try to make the coolest looking army we can. So add cash, 5,000. We'll buy all of our divisions. You can show the enemy what happens if you take a musket to a spear fight, yeah. I think it would be pretty funny doing a run with only the training muskets and just giving the guys all the melee-oriented gear and trying to get that to work. But yeah, we will screenshot this camp. There we go. Good. And then what we'll do is I will need to jump in and grab a couple officers because I don't have a debug command for that yet, or a console command, I mean. So we'll jump into a couple cities, hire some dudes with traits already, if possible. There we are. There we go. And we can make him look a little different as well. That guy's wearing full red. This guy can have green. That'll be like a skirmishing guy. We have one officer in reserve. This guy can have no hat. There, that's a good layout. And then let's move this guy because this way the traits are kind of spread out now. Maybe something like this. Yeah, this is good. And then we will add experience. There we go. Level these guys like all the way up. Let's make him a Jaeger. Put the Jaeger under the red force, or the green one. We'll make him a Fusilier. We'll make him a Fusilier. And I'll bring both of them down to the veteran level and grenadier level. There we go. Okay, so they're set up. We'll kind of place them there. And then we're going to add the rest of our units manually. So let's go ahead and add regiment. It's 2 of those. We're going to grab 2 of those. We'll grab another grenadier. Grab 1 more Jaeger. Let's grab a cuirassier. Let's grab a horse grenadier. How much room do we have left? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 slots left. Let's add 1, 2 Hungarians, plus a Hungarian grenadier, and then a Hungarian veteran hussar. Then we're going to add Grenzer sharpshooters, plus Grenzer infantry, plus a Grenzer grenadier. And then let's see where we're at now. Okay. We will do, let's put, the horse grenadiers will be there. We'll put all the cavalry together. We got a Grenzer here. Lots of Hungarians. We'll put a couple guys in reserve. That guy's pretty cool. Okay. Then let's grab maybe Green Loudon grenadiers who look like this, and put them under Zihi. And we'll put the sharpshooters under him as well. There we go. Then we will add all items. And I will move these up so there's less animals there. There we go. Then I'll select someone and give them some equipment and stuff. There. Good. And then I guess that works. And then I'll screenshot this. And that is our Austrian army. I guess the Austrians, they wear a lot of white, so there's not much variety in this camp layout. So I don't know if this looks great. I could try a different army if Austria looks a little bit too samey. What do you guys think? I think Austria might be a little bit forced because all their troops just wear white. It's kind of hard to make them look like the Grenzers wear white. Hungarians wear white. Yeah. I could try one more with the British and see how they look. Let's try one more. Britain probably has the biggest variety in colors because you get red and blue and maybe a couple other colors. Maybe they're going to be too much red though. Who else has good variety? The French definitely have variety in colors. The French have a lot of variety in colors. I think the French camp probably looks the best, to be honest. Gosh, I'll go in. It's taken a while, but you know what? I'll go in. I think it's worth it. Let's build a French camp and see how that looks as well. I really do think the French camp is going to look the best out of anyone's. They're probably my favorite army. They really have like truly a great amount of variety. The limit is technically they really only recommend 15 on Steam for screenshots, but I might do 20. Okay. I really think the French, you guys are gonna like this. I'll really show you. I mean, you guys saw when I was adding the elite units how colorful it gets already. But the French are just really, really good in that way. Yeah, they can get red, white, and blue, and green. They're gonna be very colorful. I mean, look at this. Ready? So you get red and blue, a very classic French style uniform. With this one, we'll do a whole division like that, and we'll even give them some chasseurs, like that. Right? So that division looks cool. The cavalry looks great. We'll give them. Let's do a cavalry division. So we will do add regiment. Yeah, they look great. We'll give some gentleman cavalry as well. And some royal cavalry. In fact, do we have royal cavalry? We have musketeers of the guard. So I'm going to add them because they look really cool. Look at these guys here. So put them together. The gentleman cavalry really don't look awesome. The voluntaries dragoons look awesome because they get the like leopard print on the hat. So check these guys out. Look at that. They look terrific, right? And then we can add in our French and Swiss, who I love. Okay. So put them with Gauder there, right? And then we can grab like 2 French Grenadiers, 1 and 2. Put them in this division, which is like the elite division. Then we're gonna do an Irish and Swiss. So we'll put him. What do I want to do? Let's put him there, and let's delete this guy. We don't need him. We're just gonna do a total French and Swiss, or Irish and Swiss now. So watch, we're gonna do 2, 1, 2 Irish Grenadiers or Fusiliers, and then 2 Grenadiers, 1, 2. Then we're gonna do Swiss, 1, 2, and 1, 2. Then I'm gonna add in some recruits into reserve, which could be 1, 2, 3. Check it out. Look at that. Look at the variety here, and look at the flags. Look how cool all these flags look, even the small ones that you see. We'll call this the Swiss division, Irish division, I feel like McMahon has to lead the Irish division. We'll take this cavalry guy and put him here. And De Suisse is famous, so we'll put him here, leading the Swiss division. McMahon leads the Irish. Look how cool that looks. We'll have the Voluntaries division. Then we have the Cavalry division. And then we have the Guard division with the whip. I mean, look strict with the... In fact, I could even be hovering over... What if I hovered over like that? So that the screenshot looks somewhat like this. And then I have the mouse hovering over the trait. Or does that not look good? Maybe it should just be a clean screenshot of the camp, I feel. And then add all items. And then I'll do... I don't want so many animals. There. There we go. And then I'll select... the Irish regiment, give them a pipe. Actually, I'll give them beer. What are some Irish themed things? I give them a beer, give them an axe, give them... No one's seen grenades yet, so I'll add a little bit of grenades. I'll give them like a cooler bayonet, some defenses, and maybe a Bible. And then there. I feel like this is cooler. Isn't this a cooler screenshot here? Than what we had? You know what I mean? Which do you guys prefer? Oh, you want the red uniform for... Okay, yeah. You're right. Hold on. If this guy's the guard, we'll give him this uniform. We'll give this guy a regular French uniform. And then we'll give that guy the Swiss uniform. And we'll give this guy the Irish. There. How about that? Good call. Look, now McMahon's in a Irish uniform. Doesn't this look better than the Austrian one? I think this one's better. I suppose the only issue is that we're now showing the regimental color designer for the French and the French camp at the same time. This one's cool. This one's cool. And then yeah. Now we need a flag designer. So whose flag should we design? Probably an Austrian flag. The Austrian flags aren't bad. This shouldn't be too hard. An artillery regiment? You could. I don't know if that means too much, but... Yeah, sorry this is taking so long. I wanted to finish this a lot sooner, but that's all right. We need to recruit an officer in a couple of units. Let's see here. We got an Italian. The Austrian flags aren't that cool, but I don't think this is too bad. Damn, Austria seems like such a crappy faction. Their flags aren't as cool, and their uniforms aren't as cool. Trying to make something that looks good here, and it's a little tough. Maybe like this looks good. What I have here. Oh, my flag's glitched out. That really sucks. It's broken. I don't know what to do about that. Well, you know what we might do, guys? We might use the French twice. Because the flag looks nicer, to be honest. And I like their army. I might use them twice. Because we'd have to restart the Austrians. I broke the flag. I bought the divisions too fast, I know, yeah. Poor Austria, yeah. I think I'm going to go French twice, and I'll just space the screenshots out a lot. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Because this is just showing you that you can change a flag, so I think it's okay that these might be a little similar. Yeah, Austria definitely got neglected. We will include the Austrian faction selection screen, though. Alright, I'm going to put this guy here. This guy here. And that guy there. Okay. So now we have to standardize. We have to take 20 screenshots and... yeah, we're going to get rid of this one. All right, 20 screenshots. Here we go. Which ones do we pick? Army selection, probably we want to keep. I'm just going to put all of them in here. And we are going to narrow it all down. I'm going to put a green picture. Everything to the left of the green is approved. So currently nothing is approved yet. Putting all of the ones in here. Okay. These are all of our screenshots. So first of all, we're going to probably approve this Austrian one because they're getting neglected so hard. So we're going to approve that one. Next thing we're going to approve is we want the Europe map. I'm going to approve that one. We also want the market with the village. So I'm going to approve those two next. Then we're going to grab are the camp ones that we just did. I think all 3 camp ones for now, in my opinion, should make it, because people really do care about the customization. I think the upgrade trees, I think having 2 upgrade trees would be good, so I'm going to approve those. Let's see how many we have so far. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, there's 30. We got to get rid of 10, so yeah, that does suck. Here's what we got left. We got a French a close-up. We have a Prussian faction selection and a British faction selection. We've got these 2 winter ones. We just got to pick one. Do you guys have an immediate preference? One of them has to make it because it's a winter campaign shot, which we don't have any of. So for variety, we need to have one of these make it. After seeing everything, do you guys have a preference on one? I know we talked about it before. I think you guys prefer the zoomed in one, it seems. I think that's what won last time. Yeah, let's do zoomed in. That one won last time, so we're just going to approve that one. We do need this one because it's the summer campaign, so those 2 are approved as well. I don't know about these yet. I have a feeling that this is just too zoomed in, and people find the faces scary, so we're not going to do this one. This one I really like. It's like the faces don't look freaky. It looks cool that they're marching down the road. I like this one, so I would like to approve that. We now have Swiss and French guards versus Coldstream and Campbell Highlanders. I think we have to go one or the other. Which screenshot is more appealing to you guys, do you think? Brits, Coldstream. You guys like the British one better? Angle's cooler with the buildings. Yeah, that is true. The buildings do look pretty cool in that one. The Swiss one looks too flat. Okay. Okay, let's go with this one. Yeah. For the faction selection screen, why don't I let you guys decide that? We want Austria, right? And then what's the other coolest faction selection screen if we were to have one? Prussia, Russia, Britain, France. If we were to have one other one, which one would you guys prefer? France, Britain, Russia, or Prussia? Which one gets picked? We're going to approve Austria because they haven't been picked for anything, so I feel like we have to, so that's fine. A lot of people do like the British guy with the grenade. Prussia seems to be the other pick. I'll put a vote between Prussia or which nation screen? Britain or Prussia? Okay, you guys can vote on that. While you vote, I'm just going to check my Discord. Okay. What'd you guys vote on? Oh, it's 53-47. Wow, very close, isn't it? Yeah, definitely seems like the British and the Prussians are the most popular. Yeah, I know what you guys mean. When I checked the Discord this morning, I was looking at the rolls people took, and look, 234, 281 on Britain and Prussia, and then look at everyone else's, 134, 182, 192. These are the only ones to consistently break 200. So it seems like people are really interested in those. Prussia's won narrowly, so we'll pick Prussia. By the way, I don't love this screen generally. I think the screen needs a little work, but I don't know what kind of screen I want to go for. Maybe you guys can help out. Do you like this UI where you start a campaign, you pick a country, and then you get the 3 army options? Do you like this whole UI flow? The only other thing I could think of would be that when you start a new campaign, you see a map of Europe or something, and these armies are maybe planted on the map itself, and you click an area on the map to play as an army, but that's a bit weird. And then the only other thing I can think of beyond that would be like if you click to start a game and you saw, yeah, I don't know. The text could be fixed. I feel like we could brighten up the text or maybe put a panel behind this. Okay. I was thinking of getting rid of these soldiers. Would you guys be mad if I got rid of these soldiers and did a different screen, or do you like how this came out? I don't know. Okay. So we'll approve the Prussian and the Austrian, the classic rivals against each other. There. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 screenshots, and we have no battles yet. So now we need battles. I feel like this army selection thing's not necessary. I don't know what you guys think, but I don't know. Maybe we just need one. I don't know if we need both of these. Since we didn't pick the British, maybe we could show the... I don't know. If we were to pick one of these, which do you guys prefer? The one with the hover over the Freikorps, or the one hovering over the Hanoverians? If we could only pick one. You guys want both? I don't know if we can keep both. The British, since they didn't get as much love, yeah, we could do that. I'll put both in for now, and we can look at it later. I don't know. I really don't know. The French are going to get eliminated here. That's fine. As for a battle, do you guys prefer this one or this one? I'll label them 1 and 2. I lean on 2 because I like that we're close to the ground. But does 1 show off a battle a little more like conventionally? Does it help you kind of... Yeah, what do you guys prefer? I want you guys will decide ultimately, because it's, if you were a player and you saw this, what would make you think, oh, this is cool, I want to try this out? You guys like the zoomed out view? Okay, let's go with the first one then. Let's eliminate this one. Cool. Now let's look at these British battles. I guess we have to pick this one. Yeah. 2 different time of days. It's a little dull. Is it okay that it's dull? That it looks maybe like it's a darker part of the battle? Or I could try to brighten it up, but it would be hard because I have to ignore the UI. Like, I could try to go in and do with levels like that, but I think that it'd be a little tough to pull off. Okay. It adds some variety in color. Like, this one's bright green and this one's darker. So I think it does add... Maybe what I could do, because we are going to add this in, we're going to add in clouds that roll over. Maybe that's something that would add a bit more dimension to the map would be... I could fake some clouds for now, because we are going to add them in probably like in a week or two, where it like darkens spots on the maps. Like that. And then take this and just slightly have that in. I don't know. I don't know if that even adds anything, really. It just makes it even darker, I feel. Maybe I should brighten it up like that. How's that look? Like there's clouds passing over. I think that actually does add something. It looks like fog and smoke. I think I like it like this. I can make it a little more subtle, because we're still adding more fog and smoke, so I think this is a more accurate depiction of how it would look in game. But yeah, it's hard to exempt the UI. I'd have to cut all the UI out to mess with the contrast and stuff. So I think this is good for now. Then we have more combat. So this one's a charge. Do you guys like the top-down charge, or do you like a close-up? I would say if we were to do a close-up, this one's too pixelated, right? Like, that doesn't look good. So I'd have to cut this one. This one's got a little pixelation too, but I think it's a little less of the focus. And this one's got no pixelation at all. What do you guys prefer, in the close-up or the zoom out? Close-up, okay. Did you like the other screenshot I had better that I just deleted? Because I could use that one instead. This one. Or not. No, hold on. This one here. Which of these do you prefer between... let's say this is 1. And this is 2. You got 1 or 2? I'm not getting much preference from you guys. I think most people, some people, I'm seeing 1. 1 is showing reloading. Okay. Two focus more. We'll put a poll up because it is pretty split. 1 or 2. All right, there's a poll up now that you can vote on. Two wins it pretty overwhelmingly. Okay. Now we can fit in probably 2 winter screenshots. These are probably our best. They really are. We have 1, we have 2, and we have 3, and we only get to pick 2 of them to make it. See you, JJ. Thank you for stopping by. Which do you guys think between 1, 2, and 3 do you guys like the most? We can keep 2 of them and eliminate another. Keep 2, drop 1. So between 1, 2, and 3, what are you guys thinking? It seems like you guys, your favorite is 3, right? A lot of people's favorite is 3. So now it's really just between 1 and 2. Which one gets saved? I probably think this one looks nicer, to be honest, number 2. And I think most people agree. 2 and 3, yeah, 2 and 3 is the way to go. Okay, that's fine. Let's do that, and we'll get rid of this one. And then I think we can get rid of this one as well. And now, how many screenshots are we up to? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. So we probably should eliminate maybe like 2 screenshots. I feel like we don't need 2 encounters, right? I think this one is cooler because you're rigging a gambling game. I think that's a cool variety in gameplay to show it's not all military. So I'd probably, between Pharaoh and the Hunter, what do you guys choose if we only kept 1? I feel like it's got to be... Keep Pharaoh, yeah. Okay. Let's get rid of the Hunter. Keep him. These are good. These are good. Showing different times of day is nice. Like dull, winter, and bright. We have got 2 of these. We got the Highlanders. Do we need the Highlander close-up? Do we even need that screenshot? This one I like. Let's do round 2. So round 2 will be the blue, the bright blue are like absolutely guaranteed. So we need to filter everything one more time. Austria's got to stay because they're really getting neglected. So I think they've got to stay. The map has to stay because we only have 1 of them. The camp screens, we might not need 3. We really might not need 3 of these. In fact, I would probably say if we were to pick 2, we should just do the Prussian one with the unit and then all the units with the flags here. I feel like we don't need... These 2 look too similar. So I'm probably going to eliminate this one. Are you guys good if I eliminate this one? Yeah, the flag one's redundant. I think these 2 are good. Village is nice. Market is nice. 2 different unit trees I think is cool. Because that is a pretty big part of the game. So I think we should have 2 of them. And then we should have 2 campaigns, winter and summer. And one's French and one's Russian. That's cool. So Russia's getting some attention now. I really like this close-up of the column, so I want to keep that. Coldstream, I don't know if it's necessary to keep. Plus, someone said the uniform color is a little bit off. So, I don't know. I'm iffy about that one. And with the army selection, I don't know if we need 2 of these. So I'm a little iffy on that one as well. The battle screenshots, I think we need all of these. You guys liked 2. Okay. I think we keep all the battle screenshots because we have to. I think we've got to do that. Yeah. And Pharaoh is cool. It's an encounter. I think encounters are probably cool to show. So my question is, between these 3, should we eliminate any of these? Which I wonder why. It should look more like that. But it's fine. I don't know. That's whatever. Yeah, if you guys don't like the uniforms, then it's just going to be removed from the game. I can't... You guys are saying, like, fix the uniform. It's a screenshot. Like, I would have to go in. We'd have to go into post-processing and probably spend an hour remixing colors. So if you don't like the uniforms, these guys are just gone. So I think we'll just delete this. I don't know. We have a lot of screenshots already. Let me see, like, if I might be able to bring it in Photoshop and see what I can do. I think you guys really like the Coldstream. I didn't know you guys are going to like the Coldstream that much. You seem to really like that one. If I were to keep an army selection, should I keep... I think we should only do 1. And we should probably keep... Lieutenant, if you keep writing the same thing, I think I'm just going to permanently ban you, because I've already warned you about this, and you're copying and pasting over and over again, and it is probably one of the most obnoxious things to look over and just keep seeing the same text over and over again and think I'm going crazy. Anyways, let me put this in. I don't think I can do much today for that. Like, it would honestly take an hour, and I have to do taxes for about 6 hours right after this stream, so I don't think I can fix this at the moment. You can see I can play with the color a little bit. There, I think that already helps a little bit. There. All right, let's see how this came out. So, before, after. Before, after. I think the aftershot probably looks better, right? Yeah. Okay. There. Which of these do we keep? Which, by the way, one of those is actually wrong. I need to go in and retake that screenshot. Do we keep one of these? And if we do, which one do we keep? Keep the British. Keep the Prussian. Yeah, it's tough. There, I just need to retake the screenshot. Yeah, I'll keep the Prussian one. I think that's fine. Okay, these are all the screenshots then. Let's now get everything cut nicely. Can this stupid... Ah, God, that's so annoying. There we go. Yeah, we've got to crop these. So we're going to crop each of these, and then I'll put it on Steam. You can move your screen if you hold shift. Yeah. This seems to be working if I just zoom super far out and then super far in. I wish there was an easier way to do this, but it's fine. What do you guys think the price for a game like this should be? What would you expect on Steam? Try not to be biased. I know, like, obviously it'd be nice if it was $5, right? Or if it was free. Make it free. He's asking us what the price should be. Make it free. But I'm just saying, like, if you saw a game like this on Steam, what would you expect? If you guys are familiar with, like, Ultimate General and stuff. And you don't have to say a number twice. I'm seeing like 30, 35, 20 to 30, 40, 20 to 30, 25. I was leaning, and I don't know if people are going to be upset with this or not. I was leaning on doing 30 US dollars, which would be 25 euros, by the way. But I was thinking of doing 30 US dollars with a launch day sale to bring it down to $25 so that most people would be buying it for 25 when the game comes out. If my issue is if I price it at 25, which I think is the fair price for the game, and I do my launch day discount, which Steam recommends, it would go down to like $19. And I feel like I'm kind of cheapening things maybe a little bit. Only because if you look at Ultimate General Civil War, this is a $30 game. I think the graphics are nicer than mine, but you only get 2 factions, and there's not a replayable campaign necessarily. And you don't get the flag customization. You don't really get all the unit customization and stuff. I think the game visually does look nicer. It's more, the art style is a little more refined, and they had a larger budget. I think they had like 25 people working on it. We have 4 people working on ours. So we have a relatively much smaller team. But they did get away with charging 30 for this. But I think we have more variety in our game. And so their newest game is $50, which I think is too expensive, as other people probably agreed. And this looks much better than my game, I think. But this is 50, and I'm not charging 50. So yeah, I was thinking 30 and then doing a launch day sale for 25. And so $25, 25 USD to euros, it would be $21 in euros at that point on the launch day sale. So I feel like that's a good price. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. The graphics aren't everything too. I think we do have a lot of replayability. I think people could probably get a lot of hours out of this game, so I don't think it's too unreasonable. Also, Battle Brothers was $30 as well. This was 30, and here's how this game looks. Like, I feel like even our campaign map at this point, this is their town map, or their town thing where you can click buildings, and then this was their campaign map. And I think ours is just slightly better in some ways. In other ways, I like theirs better too. I don't think you could say one's better than the other. I'm just trying to say that as an amateur, I think we did a good job trying to build some qualities into our game that graphically have merit, you could say. I don't know. Just to be diplomatic about it. I love that game, but I am just saying they charge 30 for it. And I think if you were to look at that game, you wouldn't necessarily think it's a $30 game at first. Okay, anyways. Yeah, I'm going to keep cutting these out, and then we're going to set them up. And then I need to make sure to check that they're all the correct size at the end. I think you should propose two pricing options as a marketing practice. I don't know what you mean by that. I don't think you can set two prices on Steam. But yeah, I'm thinking $29.99 for the base price, and then I can just put it on sale pretty frequently. I'm just fearful that, like, if I make it $25, I would not put it on sale very much at all. And I feel like on Steam, you gotta put stuff on sale constantly. But it's also a niche game, and I feel like with niche games, you get a stronger and smaller core audience. Like, really niche games, sometimes you see charge a lot of money. I think Gary Grisby's War in the East is like $80. So some of the really niche ones where you know you're going to attract a much more dedicated or older audience charge more. I would never do that, but I'm just saying... if my game is niche, I feel like $30 may not be unreasonable. Especially with inflation, I feel like the average game is now up to $70. So if this was 10 years ago, I probably would have thought 25 is fair 10 years ago. But I feel like it's probably changed by now to be a little bit different. Yeah. Okay, I'm glad you guys think so. And it's guaranteed. Like, I can promise you it's guaranteed to be on sale on the day it comes out. And I feel like likely it's going to be $25 on the actual day it releases. So for most of you guys, you're probably going to get the game for $25. And I feel like that's pretty fair. On the first sale, I don't think it'd be 20. I think it'd be 25 on the first sale, most likely. When is it releasing? I think we'll put it out in the summer, but I don't know. Does the strategy game press know about this? Honestly, I don't think any gaming news has really covered this at all. But I also have not put out a trailer for like a year now. The old trailer is super outdated as well. So I'm not really ready to do a bunch of marketing. I think the time to do the marketing is when we have a really solid gameplay trailer out. And I think is also when a demo is out. If there's a demo, then people can actually check it out. You thought open testing would be in the summer? Here's what I'm thinking. I think testing would be at the very start of the summer or the very end of spring, and that the release would be at the very end of summer. Which is a pretty short turnaround time for testing, but we just don't have the luxury of some bigger game studios where they can spend like 6 months in testing. I don't have that time because it's incredibly expensive to run the studio, and my YouTube channel is kind of in shambles, to be honest. It's doing really, really poorly. I'm like Elon Musk in Doge right now, neglecting Tesla. I feel like I'm making the game neglecting my channel, but I mean, I feel like I still put in effort in the videos. I don't really know what's going on, but they're doing really, really poorly. Like probably worse than when I first started my YouTube channel in 2019. I don't know how I'm doing worse than that. So it's I don't have the funding that I had before, which is a little scary, I guess. But all right, let's see. What is the 4K screen size in pixels? 3840 2160. 3840 2160. So that's the size we want to do. Most people don't have an attention span. I don't think it's that. I think you can't blame it on that. That would be a I wouldn't deflect like that. I think if you just can't make something to a certain quality, and you're being outcompeted and people are bored of your content, that's your fault. 2560, 1440. I should have those numbers memorized, I know, but I'm just double checking to be safe. There. All of our screenshots should be like this. How much will the game weigh? I don't know how much the game will weigh. The newest generation are TikTok. I don't really believe that, honestly. I don't. I think it is dangerous, to be honest, guys. I think it is very dangerous when something goes wrong that you immediately blame the other people for it. Like, you can do that sometimes. There can be good reasons for that. But one of the worst things that you can do is, like, imagine Fire Maneuver didn't do well, and I said, oh, no one has the attention span anymore to play my game. Do you know what I mean? Do you know how that comes off? And do you know how dangerous that is to think like that? You can't really have that attitude. Again, there's sometimes that can be applicable, but it is just incredibly dismissive, and it also misses the point if people actually have a problem with something. My issue on YouTube, though, is I have no feedback to know what to do. I think the issue is on my devlogs, I am breaking records with my viewership on my devlogs. Like, if I show you, look, I'm getting #1, tons of views. All of them are doing super well. I'm getting a bunch of positive feedback. I feel like I know what players want. I know what to show off. There's certain things I show off that don't do well. There's other things I show off that do well. I feel like I understand this. I understand how the performance works and how to get wish lists and what people like. On YouTube, I get 10 out of 10 performance, and I break records consistently of how poorly a video can do. Look at this. I've never gotten this low, where it's that low below 100,000 views. But I don't know what to do. But World War I's forgotten Middle Eastern theater, so I tried to do something a bit experimental. And you check the comments for it.
Thank you to PDF.
And everyone's like, finally someone made it. Oh, that's awesome. That's great. That's great. And you're like, well, it didn't do well, so what do I do at that point? And if every video on my channel is not doing well, then what do I do? Like, I don't really understand how I'm supposed to recover this. If 300,000 views is like the break-even point on a video, so these aren't doing well. That one lost money, that one lost money, that one barely broke even, lost money, lost money, lost money. So then you think, like, what the hell do I do differently? Yeah, I don't know. I really don't know what. And I try to ask critically, what do we do on YouTube to improve this? What's your biggest complaint, right? No, I will not be offended. I want to see the logistics of warfare. I guarantee you, if I made a logistics of warfare video, it would not do well. Also, give us history on armchairs. Like, I don't really know. And then he says, I have, my biggest complaint is YouTube doesn't like you. Well, it's like, all right, what do we actually, if no one can criticize us, and I have no one in the comments, I don't really know what to do about that. Isn't that, like, with the game, we have, on Fire Maneuver especially, you have reviews that tell you why people don't like the game. and you know why a game fails and why a game succeeds. It's not perfect, but at least like the Steam support is pretty active. There's a lot of Steam advice. You have wish lists that actually matter. So when someone wish lists your game, it actually does push your game on Steam. If you get a subscriber on YouTube, it makes no difference. I have 2 million subscribers, and I get less views than I did when I had 200,000 subscribers. So clearly, subscriptions don't matter at all. So I have no understanding whatsoever. I have no contact at YouTube, no understanding at all of how the game works on YouTube. But on Steam, I have support. Through Steam, I can talk to. I have articles that they've written that make sense. We have the wish listing system, which works. So then I feel like how do I understand the game development stuff better? But I've been doing YouTube for 8 years. It's the completely backwards. How am I doing so much better at game development? So I don't really understand that. Comp, my dream outcome would be if I could just do games and just go all in and not have to do YouTube. Because I don't really like doing it anymore. I don't really understand it. And it feels like I'm constantly fighting against it. So I would rather... Thing is, Matanza, you said the uniform videos are good. Every video I did on uniforms got less views than the last one, to the point where they started losing money. So I had to stop doing that. Same thing with the perspective videos. Each perspective video got less views than the last one. So I cut those too. But then everything I do at this point, it's like it doesn't do well. So I'm thinking, I have no idea what I'm supposed to do to change that. That to me is the most difficult thing. I'm really unsure. The issue, D-Man, my app, Armchair History TV, it is reliant on the YouTube channel. Because if your YouTube's not getting views, you can't advertise it. And I need to keep advertising it. And I haven't been able to do that, so I'm not gaining any members. I have a good amount of members. I have like 3,000 members on the website. So it is keeping us afloat right now. If I did, I would honestly say if we did not have the website, I probably would have been bankrupted by that. So it is saving me right now, but I'm not able to grow it because the YouTube channel's really slowed down and I'm not sure. I'll explain to you guys one idea I had in a second once I finish this last screenshot. Damn, I feel like we have too many of these winters. Oh, no, we don't. I thought... Okay, yeah, no, we're good. Yeah, I'll show you one idea I had once I finish this last screenshot here. All right. This is my idea. Let me save these in case something happens. I don't want to crash and lose all my work. So it's always good to save before we go on a tangent. Steam. Update 3. There. Like I said, if I could just do game development, I would honestly not mind that at all. Because I feel like this is something that I'm better at. Maybe consider expanding this game of success. Yeah, I would. I would keep building off of it or make new ones and... Maybe make MOC compatible. Nah, I'm not making it for mobile games. Seeing your process through development has been amazing. Yeah, I think I'm enjoying this a lot. I think thing is, I tested myself with Fire Maneuver that it was such a failure for me. Not a huge failure, but it was a failure enough that I think a lot of people probably would have quit, but I really felt like I was able to keep going after that, which I think not a lot of people would have done. Not because I'm special, but because I'm pretty stubborn, to be honest. And maybe that's not a good thing, I don't know. But I think we've been pushing through, and even with the biggest challenges. And I think that's important. Okay, these are all saved. We'll have 20 screenshots on the Steam page, which I think is very good. But yeah, I was thinking for YouTube, I would... I think what I would do, and I don't mind if you guys see my schedule. I don't really care. Everything is expected to go low, to be failed. And same thing with the rest of quarter two. And I think one of the other issues too, I noticed, let me know if you guys think about this in any way. So if I look at the only things that did well on the channel, like all these did poorly, these did pretty poorly, that one did okay. This one did very well. And this was a compilation video, an hour long. And that's making me a lot of money every month. The rest of these videos don't make me any money. They make me like a couple $100s. This one makes thousands because it's so long, because you can run multiple ads. And then we scroll down, and these did fine. This one actually did pretty well. This one did amazing, and this one did quite well as well. And this one did awesome too. And I look at these, and it's 25, 18, 22. So the length of the videos is longer. And they're pretty conventional topics. They're not necessarily political question videos. If they are a question, it's like, what if a war happened? Or this battle, right? But the political questions, like, what did Japan do during World War I? Or why did the Allies invade Iran? Or who did the Führer trust? What was cavalry effective in World War I? These like short, and it's 11 minutes long. I feel like these short question videos do very poorly for my audience. And so here's my thoughts for, this is quarter two. Look at quarter two. It's going to fail. Every month it's going to bomb. Every video is going to bomb, okay? And that's fine. Quarter three, I'm thinking, we increase the average video length to 25 minutes, back up to 25. So from 12 to 25, so we're adding way more content in. I'm going to put an update video out. Not a we need your help, but a video just saying we're updating everything. We're going to have a new, big refresh. We're going to go return to form and be good at animations like we used to during COVID. Because even recently, I feel like some of the animations are a little basic. We cut costs pretty considerably. And so I'm going to increase the budget, meaning I'm going to lose even more money, but that's okay. And I have enough money for the channel to get it through for 6 months if I were to spend pretty aggressively. And if we look at quarter three to quarter four, that's 6 months. So I could spend aggressively for these 6 months and either come out the other end much better or have spent all the money for the channel to the point where I probably need to sell it. It's kind of one or the other. But I'd rather do that rather than just going low, 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 and just slowly sink. Because if I just slowly sink like this, then I have like 2 years before I pretty much am guaranteed to quit, because nothing's working under these short question videos. If I were to do larger videos with higher budget animations and just go all out, I'll blow through that money faster, but at least I can force a decisive outcome. Either we do well or we don't do well. It's one or the other. And the other thing I want to do is every month for 6 months, put a documentary out. And a lot of these documentaries were made through my website. And some of the documentaries would be compiled from old videos I'll have put together. So my ISIS documentary, which is probably the best video I've ever made, is exclusive on the website. That can be put on YouTube, and that's 45 minutes. Then 7 Years War documentary, that's on the website. I'll put that on YouTube. It's 45 minutes. The Russian Civil War documentary, that's on the website. It's 45 minutes. What happened to Axis soldiers after World War II? That's going to be 60 minutes long. Because I have German, Japan, and Italy. And I have what happened to German soldiers after World War II, what happened to Italian soldiers after World War II, and what happened to Japanese. So I can do a triple compilation, and that could be a 60-minute video. Then I have the Great Northern War, which is also 45 minutes. That's on the website. I'll put that out on YouTube. And then I just need to make one more documentary within those 6 months, and I can have 6 months of documentaries out. So 6 months of documentaries plus 25-minute long-form, high-quality videos with improved animations, and then I can cover wars and battles and ask the question videos. So no more what happened here, what happened there, was cavalry effective, yes or no, question, question, question. I can just do like the whole Battle of Kursk, 25 minutes, great animations, in depth.
or the whole Battle of Iwo Jima in depth, 25 minutes. And then mix in the free documentaries, which are already done. So if I start losing money because I spend a lot of money animating these, I can make some of that money back, maybe break even through the free documentaries I'm putting out. And then the documentaries, I'm putting out 6 of them. 3 can advertise my game and my website, and the other 3 I can get sponsors for, which is just raw profit. So if I put in the Russian Civil War documentary, which is already made, and I get a sponsor for $6,000, I keep that money. And that keeps us afloat for another month, right? And for the 7 Years War documentary, I can time this with the release of the game, and that could boost the game and make me that money back, and that could help too. I also preemptively built a Great Northern War documentary in anticipation for making a Swedish DLC for this game. So that's already ready to go. I already finished the documentary. So as soon as we're ready to add Sweden, look, episode 3 just came out. As soon as we're ready to add Sweden, I have a 45-minute documentary on the whole Great Northern War ready to go out with it. So that'll go out on YouTube. All of these will be out on YouTube. Yeah, Lieutenant, basically this plan, everything besides the stuff in blue would go out on YouTube. Here's another idea too. If I put out a second Boer War video for 25 minutes, I can have a 10-minute AHTV companion video on the first Boer War. So people on YouTube still benefit by getting a really in-depth, highly animated video about the biggest war in South Africa. And then the people on the website get something different. And yeah, there's already a lot on World War I and World War II, which is why I'm trying to keep it diverse, right? Like ISIS, the Boer War, and Iwo Jima. That's a pretty good variety in 1 month. And the other thing is, unlike here where I scheduled out all of Q2 in bulk, I'm only going to schedule 1 month at a time so I can be flexible. So if certain topics don't do well or certain topics do, I can kind of change and adapt. But anyways, I'm gonna update my logo, new thumbnail style, longer videos, updated animations, and 6 months of 45-minute documentaries with the biggest possible effort we can do. And so I am going to go all out, try everything I possibly can for 6 months. And by the end of it, I will either have to sell my channel or it will have recovered, one or the other. And in the best case scenario, Master Command comes out in August, and if the YouTube channel can do well or it doesn't do well, it doesn't matter, because if the game did well, then I can just focus on game development. So that's kind of what my plan is. Anyways, to go back to the topic at hand, I'm going to update our Master Command thing. Let me edit the Steam page. Hold on. There we go, graphical assets. So our current screenshots, basic info? Nope. Description. Isn't it under graphical? Oh, right there, screenshots. Here's what we've got currently. So we're going to get rid of all these. Axe all that. Oh, something I need to do, by the way. The mini-map looks horrible on the battle screenshots. Look at that. That's a problem. So what can we put in the corner here that would make it... I have a funny idea. Hold on. What if we pretended it was like just a regiment info box, and I just put the flag there for now? I don't know if that's going to be dumb or not, but... Does that work for now? Or what else should I do? Because I got to cover that up. It doesn't look good. What other idea could we do besides that? That's the only thing I can think of. One thing I don't like, which it's not easy to fix, is this got squished a little bit, the UI, but I think it's fine. Yeah, I need a British one for that. I do think the flag idea is the best one we have for now. But yeah, we need a British flag. What else could I do? A nation flag, like, depending on who you're playing as. Yeah, we could do that. Let's do that for now, since we don't have a mini-map. And we can always update it later. We just need something to hold us over right now. We need a Russian flag. We need a Prussian flag and a British. Those are all the countries we showed off in battle. So the British one can be here. There we go. That one's Prussian, though. So stupid. Just putting the flags in the corner. Oh well, it's what we've got to do, right? Because it looks bad otherwise. It is what it is. At least we have a variety of flags, right? At least we got like a Russian, a British, and Prussian. That's cool. Oh my god, the thing's spilling out of the frame. It's so annoying. Good enough. Okay. There we go. That's all done. There. Good. Okay. And then we're going to delete all these. Oh, gosh. I feel like you should show the people might have a mini map. Yeah, I don't have a... I don't have a good mini map right now, so we're just going to have to lie. We're just going to show the flag for now until it's done. Why does it want to reset me every single time? Okay, that's easier. Let's get rid of all these. There we go. Cool. By the way, no one listens to this. Look, requirements. Screenshots exclusively show gameplay. Do not use concept art or pre-rendered cinematic stills. How many games have you guys seen on Steam where it's a bunch of cinematic stills and not actual gameplay? No one follows that rule. You could use a fake battle map as a placeholder. I could do that. What do you guys prefer? Should I try to find a way to do a fake battle map? What could we use? Like, it could be a fake part of this. Nah, that's too obvious. What would be a good... Let me see here. Let's see if I could find, like, a map that we've drawn. Something from the map editor. Maybe you're right. Maybe something from the map editor could work. Maybe you're right. Maybe we go...
With Fargo,
I'm just gonna... I might as well test it out. I know you guys are saying it. Why do I have to watch ads on my own video? Does YouTube really need the money that bad that I have to watch an unskippable ad on my own video on my own account? Like... Oh, 2 ads too. Okay. What the hell? How does that even make sense that they do that? How's that in the corner? Do you guys like this or do you like the flag? What do you guys prefer? Because I can easily Photoshop one of those for the other two as well. I think this is better, right? Yeah. But the blue color, you want me to change the blue color? I can do that. I'll make it less cyan. There. Okay. Fuck. All right. There. Good enough. I need like a hill next to a town. There. I think this is actually the exact location. I don't know how I did that, but yeah, I think it's the exact location. Yeah, okay. And then what we'll do is... One, two, three with some skirmishers in the front. And then 1, 2, 3 with cavalry. There. That is an accurate depiction of the battle. Ah, I hate this. Ah. How do I get a good winter? I guess I have to go into map editor. Jump into a winter map. Okay, we can do that. There's actually are there actually 40 people watching? Because that's actually really good. I was expecting like 10 people here at this point because I've gone kind of quiet. Yeah, how many people are here? Because on my main YouTube channel with 2 million subscribers, I get 200 people watching. This one has 30,000 subscribers, which is way smaller, and so I should be getting like 20 people watching, but yeah. Anyways, let's go to Juan Friedberg. I don't think you guys have seen me show off my finished Hohen Friedberg map. Yeah, earlier the peak was like 48, yeah. Well, the stream's also been going on for a while now. Yeah, I finished this whole map here, and I'm pretty happy with it. This took me a really long time to do. You can also just switch it straight to winter, which is nice. So I just need to find where this happened. This is about here. What do the Prussians have? 4 lined up and some musketeers in the back. So 1, 2, 3, 4 lined up with 1 in the back. And the Russians are green. So we can do them like that. We can go 2 cavalry over here with some reserves. Then they have 1, 2, 3 lined up with another behind the river. So it goes like 1, 2, 3 lined up with another over here. And I think some artillery. And then there's 3 grenadiers on the bridgehead. So it's 1, 2, 3, something like that. There. So that's pretty accurate as well. And then this one doesn't need a minimap. There we go. So I got minimaps done for all of these. And that's a bit better. And you guys said that you didn't like that blue, so I'll switch it to the darker blue. There. Okay. Yeah, I could probably have minimap icons that are improved. This was just a placeholder temporary fix, what we could. Okay, and then we'll delete through this, and then we will go through here, and then let's go upload our screenshots. We have 20 screenshots. There we go. So I have to say they're all suitable. Meaning you just don't want like blood, gore, or NSFW stuff. All right, this is kind of a fun part. What is your guys' absolute favorite screenshot? Because we have to choose which screenshot comes first. I would imagine if it's a combat game, you need a battle. Like you need to hook them with a battle screenshot first. I think we need to do a cool battle shot. So I'm wondering which of them, which is your favorite combat screenshot? Do you guys have any favorites? You want like the biggest? I would say this one's zoomed out and this one is zoomed out. These are the 2 biggest overview ones. We probably want to do the summer one because that's more typical that they'd be fighting in the summer. So that might be the first screenshot. Why did, what happened? Why are they all gone? That's weird. How are there only 0 to 5 allowed? That doesn't make any sense. What? Okay, let me just try a smaller amount first. I think 5 is the minimum, but why did these not work? Upload. Maybe I just uploaded too many at once. I don't think it worked again. Oh no, there they are. Okay, yeah, you just can't do too many at a time. Yeah, we're going to put all of them in, but we can also consolidate. We can get rid of a few if we need to. There. Sorry, this part's boring. I'm just uploading. Okay. That next batch is in. And then this is the final batch here. And like I said, we have a lot, so I don't mind going through and deleting a few if we do find that a few of them are redundant. That's okay. What do you guys think about the Napoleonic Wars? Because people are really excited for Napoleonic War games, especially for games like Ultimate General. But I feel like Napoleon Total War already exists, and I don't know why you would play something other than that. Like, it's already got multiplayer, it's already got mods, already has a grand campaign, already has plenty of units. Why would you play a game like this that would have worse graphics doing that? All right, let's pick the top battle screenshot, which would be the big overview, which I cannot find. Oh, it's this one. So that's the first screenshot. Then the second one you get could be winter immediately, maybe up close, just to get that out of the way. Then we hit them with the Europe map, because people like their maps. Then after the Europe map, hit them with maybe another battle screenshot, just to keep it going. This time a more up close one, because we did 2 far away shots. So that one's up close, you can show charge. Then jump over to maybe nation selection. Oh, did I upload that same one twice? Of the guys charging. I think I did, yeah. Well, let me save and delete that. I would rather do the Victorian period than Napoleonic personally. I think if I did a grand campaign with a Victorian global map, that to me would be more interesting. Like, if I could play as the Zulu or play in the American Civil War or the Franco-Prussian War and it's all connected, that to me, I feel like that's more unique, and I enjoy that style of combat too. So you hit them with these, you show it up close, then you show a faction screen, then you show them maybe the Prussian tree, so those two are kind of connected, then get them another battle. Last time we did up close, so this time we can kind of zoom it out. Actually, let's do a zoomed out one, like that. Then hit them with maybe the campaign system. I don't know, do you guys think the screenshots should just kind of be a mixed assortment, or should they go in order of like picking a faction, then go, no, I don't think that'd be too formulaic. I'll feel it out kind of randomly for now. Let's see what else we have. We have got the regimental designer. We have a lot of screenshots. Then you can go to a town. Let's mix in another screenshot there. Let's put this one there. Then you have these two. Then you have that one to this one. Then you get maybe these. Okay, this is kind of my preview for now. So that's the first thing that would come up, is this. Then you'd click to that, you get winter. Then you click this, you see the map. Then you click the 4th, you see a charge. Then you see Prussia and the unit tree. Then you see another battle and the campaign. Then you can see that you can customize your regiments, which maybe should be sooner. Maybe regiment designer should be sooner, but yeah. Then you have some troops marching and the village. Then you have an encounter and a unit upgrade tree. Then you go back to a battle showing close-ups of some soldiers. Then you show a full camp and a market. Then you show faction selection with Austria and the Russian army roaming. Then we show a big Russian battle in the winter. And then we have an army selector at the end. I do feel like the regimental color designer should come sooner. It's a really strong screenshot. I also feel like this dull one is not necessarily something that hooks me in. And I'm wondering if there's a better combat screenshot. Like maybe this one would be better. Like would it be better for this to be the first screenshot? This is a bit brighter. And you see Frederick the Great. You see a huge line of troops fighting. Do you prefer that or do you prefer this? For the first screenshot. The zoomed out or zoomed in? Because I'm not quite sure. Yeah, we could go zoomed in. I think it is a little more eye-catching. Then show that you can customize your regiments. Then show the winter map. Then show the Europe map. Then show the big zoomed out battle. Then show Prussian faction selection. With a battle, then upgrade tree, then a campaign, then battle, then town, an encounter, then another battle, then the British upgrade tree, a huge camp. I feel like this huge camp is really cool, though. I feel like this could move up somewhere. Like there. Do we even need the Prussian faction selection? Maybe we should... I feel like the Austrian one's better, and I don't think we need this one. So I'd get rid of that. I like the charge of the units there. This. You guys really like the Coldstream Guard. So I could move it up, but I don't mind it there with an upgrade tree next to it. Then you get like a town view. And then we have another battle screenshot all the way in the back, but it shouldn't be that far back, I think. Maybe it should be here. And then this one should be there. And then just the column that's marching should be at the bottom. Okay, let's try this. So I even axed one of the screenshots. Okay. So now you see this first. Then you see a color designer where you're customizing the regiment. Then immediately to a huge winter battle. Then to the map of Europe with Poland. And then a really zoomed out battle. Then a huge camp with all your troops. Then faction selection with a really cool Austrian character. Then a nice big winter battle overview. Then unlocking new troops. And then going on the campaign map and finding markets. And then a French infantry charge zoomed in. Then you're going to a village. You're playing a game of Pharaoh. You zoom in to show the British troops. We show upgrading those British troops. Now we're at a town at a large city doing sales. Then we're a Russian troop in a campaign winter map. Then we see those same troops marching down that road, which is kind of cool that it's connected like that. And then we end it with just like selecting an army composition. I feel like this is a pretty good... This screenshot could be better. I could replace this. What could we do? What could we do with this? I don't really have any ideas off the top of my head. But there's probably a better way to do this one. Gosh, do I want to... I don't have much time. But I could... Alright, here's what I'm going to do. I got to set a 20-minute timer. That's all I got. And I'm going to see if I can get us one screenshot to just replace that one. We're going to go debug. We're going to load a template test. We're going to go in and do... Let's do main map 3 Hohenfriedberg. We're going to go summer. We're going to go Prussian, Prussian, Prussian. We're going to go in, grab factions. I'm going to give us Grenadier. Let's give us the Potsdam Giants, the von Preußen. Then let's give us 2 drilled musketeers. Then the next division, I'm going to leave that other division alone. Let's duplicate this one twice. Then we're going to do Freikorps, because they have really colorful uniforms. We're going to do 2 of them, a Jaeger and a Grenadier. And then our third division, we're going to do... Maybe I don't need a fourth. Maybe we could just do 3. Let's do 3 divisions. I think that's going to be enough. The Austrians have plenty of troops here. They could get maybe some Grenzers, like sharpshooters, but I think they're okay. Let's save that template. Let's load in, and let's stage a battle. And you guys can help me stage this. What's cool is that I have a debug mode on, so I can stage everyone in the exact position in seconds. So... I just think that very first screenshot could be a little stronger. And we could choose a post-processing profile that's your guys' favorite. So we'll take a look in a second. Okay. So here's one post-processing profile. Or do you guys prefer overcast or rain? I would say it's between main and overcast for me. What do you guys prefer? Main or overcast? Overcast might look more cinematic. Main I feel like is nicer while you're playing the game. Overcast might be better for a screenshot because it's a little duller and a stronger vignette. So I feel like, to me, that's a favorite. And then let's find a spot. I like this little wheat field with the hill. I think that is a really nice spot to stage a battle. I feel like maybe my troops should be at the bottom if I'm Prussia instead of at the top. But then again, I like admiring the Prussian uniforms more than the Austrian ones. As we've seen, the Austrians are maybe a little boring. We could have cavalry on the flanks. We could have the Jaegers out front. Are we on large? Yeah, we're on large, not ultra, which is good. We don't want to be ultra scale because we're going to be way too squished. Do this. We'll have all the Grenadiers in the front because they look the coolest. Right, the Grenadier Guard, see them? And then see these dudes? I feel like they could come in the front. We have troops in the back in bright blue. And then we have a named unit, the Prince von Preußen, in the back behind them. Then we could have, who do we have left to stage? I have 2 more units. We could put them in column. Something like this. Like that. Okay. And then let's go in and let's fake the camera and give ourselves the ability to go low if we need to, like this, right? I wouldn't probably do that because it breaks some of the perspective. The player's not going to be able to do that, but if we wanted to go cinematic, you know, you could. The other thing is I'm going to turn off volley fire because it looks nicer when you have a bunch of random shots going off. The volley fire smoke is ugly currently, and that's being worked on. Okay, so they're fixed. These guys are going to be on hold fire because I don't want the columns to be shooting in the back. The enemy can get some of their own Grenzers. And we have Hungarians and regular Germans, which will do 3 regiments lined up. Like that. Cool. And then we'll have some of their cavalry on the flanks. Like that. And then we're going to put some of their artillery in the back up here. Turn off volley fire. Okay. And here we go. So we have this, which maybe will look better when I stage it. Dragoons are already firing. Yeah, there's all the smoke. You don't want all... Look how bright it is. That has to be fixed. It's like... I'm going to take just a bunch of screenshots as options. Like, this might be already better than this. Do you know what I mean? It looks a little more symmetric. I do like how the Austrians had their lines curved in. I think that was kind of cool, because it made it look like they were kind of flanking. So if I were to change anything, let's put these guys in the back because I might have them charge. And then I'd rather like tilt these guys. I think that just looked more dynamic. We've got cannonballs coming in. Look at the cannonballs. They actually skip on the ground, and then they fly and skip further. Well, that one's going far. Okay. And then I don't know why some troops are like marching. Probably won't take a screenshot here. That's kind of a cool one where it says retreat. The flags are actually wrong, unfortunately, which is really a shame. You can't see it from here. They do look like Austrian flags from here, but we can't zoom in because it's using a Russian flag because I set the wrong flag up. Is the blue unit shooting through the pink lines? I think they are shooting through each other by accident, yeah. Which they probably shouldn't be. We haven't done the friendly fire yet, so that you are able to do that when you shouldn't be able to. Also, some of the muskets are standing up. That's just an animation glitch. So we just have to try to get a screenshot that doesn't look like that. Here's another one. And another. Yeah, I kind of prefer this one. Here's also another if we prefer. I might be able to fix that flag through Photoshop. I think this one's nicer, yeah. And then I'll try one that's super zoomed out. like this. Maybe something like this could work. There. This is a pretty good screenshot here, because we have plenty of smoke. We see all these regiments lined up. We get a column down the road, artillery on the side, cavalry on the flanks. The dragoons are actually firing on horseback. I feel like this might be the opening screenshot here. This one's not bad. This is the old one. This new one I feel like is more packed though, isn't it? Also, there's all these cannonball skids from the artillery that's dueling at the moment. Yeah, this one's beefier, I feel. So I feel like we can even brighten it up a little bit if we want it to really pop like that. I don't know if we even need to do that. Add muzzle flash on the cannons. I could see if I could get away with that. Here, let's see if we can just actually time it. The smoke is like a little desynchronized, but I might be able to grab that muzzle flash that's not attached to the barrel and then put that over. Hold on. Let's see if I can grab a few of these firing. Then reduce the opacity. Why'd you guys make the smoke yellow? It's turning yellow because it's sunny out and it's white. I think, yeah, you're right about that. It's white smoke on green grass with transparency. So if you make something, for example, if I had a green grass here and I took white and I made it transparent, then you're like, hey, why does that color look not fully white, you know? Especially if the grass, I don't know, is like this. And then you grab this color, and now suddenly the smoke is like lime green or something, you know what I mean? So here it's on this like more yellowish grass, and it almost gives it that color to it. I don't know if that's a huge deal, but yeah. Yeah. Okay. That could be changed though. Like we can work on the smoke. I think it would be nice if it was puffier and more white and not as yellow. But it's being affected by the post-processing as well. We might actually be able to turn that off so it's not. Same thing with some of the UI. It gets affected by the post-processing, gets a weird color. There, now the cannons look like they're firing. I can make one of them already having shot. There. Yeah, more explosive. I could try. Like that. Probably just need smoke now, which I might be able to steal. There, they look like they're firing now, right? That's cool. It would be cool if there was like, I wish you could like see a cannonball traveling, you know? There's not a way we can get that in, but it would have been cool to be able to do that. I wonder if you could take like a shape and like make an oval. I don't want to fake too much though. Like adding smoke is one thing, but I don't want to like fake a bullet streak or something like that. Yeah, I don't think it'll really work. I was thinking of showing like the wind or the air, but I think this is good. The next question then for you guys is, do you prefer this one or this? Oh, this one or this one? The new one or the old one? I think the new one's better. It is cool that you can see the environment. You see the wheat fields, columns in the back, dragoons. I feel like it shows a lot. Yeah. Okay, let's package this one up and upload it, and then we'll make that the starting screenshot of the game. So that's screenshot number 5. So we will go in and replace screenshot number 5. Which is currently this one. The minimap's different. Yeah, I mean, it's okay. I don't know if people are really going to be paying that much attention to it. Do you really want me to redo it? Is it that necessary? I can redo it. It's just a little annoying. Here. Fuck, I screwed something up. Okay. Alrighty. It's basically skirmishers in the front, 2 rows, 2 rows, artillery here, cavalry there, column on the road, column on the road. Is that correct? Yes, it is. And then the Austrians, I'll put in red. They're a little buggy. I'll grab this one. There. And they've got 3 main lines. Plus some artillery in the back. And they have other troops in reserve. But what we're seeing would just be this area because they're off screen. Okay, that was the time to set this up, and I think I achieved it. There. That would be the updated version there. So that's screenshot 5. Screenshot 5 is being re-uploaded. Good. That's number 1. Okay. I think this is it for my preview, so let's see. So this was the old first screenshot of the game. And now, that's the new. Oh, that's much better. That's the new first screenshot for the game. The current one is... Current first screenshot looks like this. Which I feel like the new one... definitely looks better. If we compare. Yeah, the grass texture is kind of crappy here. There's no environmental art. This one's got much more environmental art. The UI is actually done. The UI on the bottom looks so much better in the new version. Yeah, this is much better. Cossacks 4. Yeah, actually it does kind of remind me of Cossacks 3 a little bit. With like the big formations they had. Like this. That's similar, yeah. That's cool. Are we ready to update it? Here's a couple more before and afters. This was the old campaign map. Look at the difference between that and the new one. This new one's much better. It shows the whole of Europe, so we expanded it and has a whole like descriptions over the regions, which is cool. Take a look at the camp difference. This is the old one. Look at the giant yellow sand pits. And then look at the new one. That's pretty cool. I think the only thing about the old one I like is it's very bright. I do like the brightness. But this is faked. Like I put a post-processing effect, like a filter over this, which is why the bottom looks so dark. So a lot of this is faked. And this is actually real. It's a little dull, but I think that's okay. This is the old winter battle. And the new winter battle looks like this. Wow. Yeah, that's much better. Yeah, we do need a new trailer next. I think there's actually an even better winter. Is there a better winter battle? I already passed it, right? Yeah, this. There, you can compare those two winter battles. This one's actually got a river, it's got a farm, it's got buildings, it's got plenty of units engaged. That's the campaign map, which you can now compare here, left to right. You can see the graphics all got upgraded. Only thing I like on the left one is you see the arrow. That was pretty cool. But I think that's okay, that we don't have that. That's fine. This was faction selection. Now this whole faction selection on the left is all photoshopped. This is not actually really in the game. So I was able to put a bunch of filters over it. The right one's actually in the game. But there's some work we can do to the right one to improve it a little bit. This is like a just generic summer battle. I guess our equivalent would be something like this on the right, which is a little more cinematic, close to the ground. It looks way more... The one on the right looks way more gritty, doesn't it? The left one looks very floaty and cartoony. So I do think that right one. I like the grass. The grass has more texture on the right. See, on the left, it's like there's no texture to it, no contrast. Then I just had a loading screen, which is not really anything. And then a winter campaign. Which, again, the one on the left, I like how there's an arrow. But the one on the right has nicer art. Then we have a town view. This is where you trade and recruit. We'll compare that to... This is the new one on the right. That's the old one on the left. So that's a much bigger improvement. Then just a bunch of campaign stuff. And yeah, I think we're ready to push the update out. All right, guys, thank you for the help. I will go ahead and push this out. And once the stream ends, you can probably refresh the Steam page and see it updated. So thank you guys for the help.